Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have TJ Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. TJ Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of TJ Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because TJ Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off the first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today. What's going on, family? Welcome to Lapeef Let's Talk. Let me go and introduce the crew. We got Sweeney, Real Precious, Lady Di, Let Go, Vegan Chef Bay. Should be dropping in and out. Ali, Tres Smooth, Paradise Paris, and me, myself, I'm Lapeef JR. Welcome to Lapeef Let's Talk. How y'all doing, family?
What's going on,
Thank
bro?
God.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
It's good to see you. We also got Penny that be dropping in at the top of the hour, so make sure y'all look out for her and show some love for her in the chat. Before we get started, let me go ahead and shout out my green gang that's in the chat right now. Mr. BX87, Angela Swift. We got HR. HR is back in the country now, so he will be handling the hurt feelings reports. Hopefully, we won't have that today. I believe we have a calm panel. I don't think anybody is going to cause any chaos. Ali and Let Go seem to have made up, so I don't predict anything there. Paradise can get a little bit fiery sometimes, but so y'all make sure y'all stand down with Paradise. You know, she's been on a rampage as of lately, so you never know what you're
Yeah,
going to get
stand
from
down,
her.
Paris.
And also just monitor to make sure that she's not on her phone. She has a habit of looking down, so make sure she's at eye level with us today. We're about
She
holding
getting them
people
stats ready
accountable.
for y'all.
Okay, that's okay. That's what we gonna call it. Trev. Let's see if I can move y'all away from each other, man, because y'all already. I see what you're trying to do.
I need Paris on my side. That she good right where she at.
All right. Well, it's good to see y'all, man. Thank you for tuning in to Lapeef Let's Talk. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the sponsor again, Teach Hanley Uncomplicated Skincare for Men, 30% off along with a free gift. That link is in the description. Now, make sure y'all feel the Teach, as I always say. The Teach really works, family. I'm not just sitting here trying to tell y'all something. I use it morning and night. So let's go ahead and get our skincare in order. Men and, of course, ladies, if you guys have that type of skin, it works for you too. You won't even do it. Are y'all ready to get this show started?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's do it.
Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it. Hit the like button, family. Here we go. Our first topic of the night is. Damn, where did my topics go? There it is. Gold digger is a word used by broke men only. Wealthy men have no problem providing for their woman. Y'all agree?
1,000%. 1,000%.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and play this clip and then we'll go ahead and get into it.
Cristiano Ronaldo pays Georgina Rodriguez $100,000 monthly as pocket money for her lifestyle and taking care of the kids. Before Cristiano Ronaldo met her, she lived in a small studio flat and worked in a Gucci store for £10 per hour. But now she lives in a $6 million mansion in Saudi Arabia and drives a $1.2 million supercar, and she also have her own Netflix documentary. He really changed her life.
All right, there we go. What do you guys think about that, man? Is that gold digger terminology only used by broke men? Do you guys agree that? Go ahead, Lego.
I think it's a man's job to change a woman's life. Anybody I've had sex with no condom on, I've changed her life in some type of way. So that's just where I look at it. You know. So shout out to the women I've had sex with no condom. But your job
That could be taken a lot of ways.
Your job as a man is to do whatever you possibly can to change her life, whether it's huge or whether it's small, you know. So, you know, I'm not paying nobody $100,000 a month or whatever, but whatever I can do to change her life or, you know, buy her tires, I'm gonna do it, you know.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go to Precious. What are your thoughts about it?
Real Precious jumping hot.
So a man who marries a woman changes her life, right? And it is his job to provide for her. It is his job to make her better. It's his job to enhance her. And it's not because, you know, he has all this money, but as a provider, that's what you're saying that you're going to do. Now, you don't have to be on the yachts and the planes and everything that woman had, but you are going to be better than you were when you were by yourself. It's just simple math. So I don't think that gold digger, broke men, I don't know. There could be men who have money that use that terminology because they may be selfish with their money and they don't want to give their money to anyone else. But I think a man who loves a woman is going to provide for her, and he's not going to have a problem doing that. And he's going to know how to moderate and investing in her. And to me, it should be the natural order of things.
And I just want to say, investing in a woman isn't just financial. So it's not just paying a woman's bills, it's putting a woman in a position where she can take care of herself also. So that's another part of providing that's in my mind. So it's not just about money to me. So yeah, the gold digger stuff is stupid. A man is supposed to build a woman up, if he's been around her, period.
But y'all missing the point. Let's talk about the gold diggers that only want money. They don't care about you. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about your love. They don't care about nothing. And if they got another man that has more money than you, they're going to leave and be with that man. Let's talk about those women. Y'all talking about, like, the video was more about a lady who didn't have anything, and then she just happened to go with a millionaire. So of course he's going to give her money like that. And she has his kids. But that's different from the other ladies who, even if she got a man like that, get somebody else, she's not going to be loyal to you. So let's talk about women in that way. Because I don't think that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about
a gold digger is a gold digger. What is there to talk about? She wants your money. She doesn't love you. And that's that. What else is there to talk about as far as a gold digger?
Because y'all talking about men taking care of women.
But isn't different. This about
we're talking about
labeling women as gold diggers or actual women that are gold diggers? I'm thinking that
providing for
we call it gold digging when a man is providing for a woman. Because I think the approach when a man is looking out for a woman or taking care of a woman versus a woman trying to get a man to do these things, I think those are two different gold digging things.
But a man taking care of his lady, I never heard of that being a gold digger.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody.
There's some men that will say that when they don't feel like they should be giving, the whole 50-50 or they have their whole understanding of I should be able to, do this and don't ask me for nothing, but you're still supposed to be laying up inside me, letting your kids party in me for free. And I'm, not saying for free like that, but I'm saying like, how is it that I might still need something?
Partying you for free? Like,
yes, I'm babysitting. Like, what's going on here? I'm trying to understand why I'm doing all this strenuous back labor and I can't, hypothetically be put in a better position. I'm not saying like take care of me, but if I'm willing to lay down with you, you should also be willing to be like, do you need anything? There shouldn't, and men be like, oh, well, you're a gold digger. But to me, you over here trying to just lay up in me and then go about your business, like, and use me as some type of, you're not going to do that either. It should be some type of understanding of if I'm providing you peace, comfort, and everything else, you should be able to provide me with peace. And it might come in a different way. It might not be financially, like you said, it might be mentally, it might be some type of peace. But to me, in order for me to be in my divine femininity as a woman, you're supposed to help me by taking some of that load off that unfortunately society has put on me as a woman, just like I'm supposed to do the same for you in a different, or so capacity.
Wait, you said society has put on you. What do you mean?
Yeah, what is that? Society has put on you. What the hell?
So wait. For instance, think about it. Back in like the day, the woman was like staying at home, right? And she was, the homemaker, and the dad was going out and providing and working, whatever, right? So society has it where hypothetically we're not always together. You know what I mean? If a woman is single, she's not like back in the day. Back in the day, if you weren't single, you weren't allowed to even work for yourself, way back in the day. You weren't even working. You had to find a man, be married off. Now we're taking care of ourselves, but we're also doing other things, which is not a bad thing. But what I'm saying is, once you come to be a part of my life, it should be some type of level, like, I don't want to say leveling up, but it should be some type of ease that you're bringing to me. I shouldn't have to work as hard if you're with me. You know what I mean?
Wait, hold on.
Can I touch on this topic real fast?
Wait, one second.
Hold on. Let Lady Di get it real quick.
So, vegan chef base. So you're saying that because we have opportunities to be independent and make money, then now it's a choice for us to decide to do that. And now we're not wives anymore. We're more of a baby mother or a long-term girlfriend. So because we have opportunity, we still can't be wives. Is that what you're saying?
No, not at all. I feel like we should still be wives. No, I wouldn't say that at all. Of course, I think we should still be wives. What I'm saying is some men are intimidated by, even on that topic to go off, some men are intimidated by the independent woman, and some women also are so independent that we also don't know how to be in our feminine to allow a man to even be with us. So that's a whole nother topic. But I'm just saying, in order for us to like be like on a plane together, not saying go back old fashioned, but we're supposed to be providing a balance for each other. If we come into each other's lives, I should be giving you peace, and you should be able to give me peace. It doesn't matter if it's financially, mentally, or spiritually.
I got questions.
One night. That's all I got to say.
I got questions. Hold on, Lady Di. I got questions. Okay. First question. Did society put that pressure on you, or did you ask for the pressure?
How did we ask for a pressure? We born in a
by demanding. Hold on, let go. Let me have it.
How many babies do you spit out?
Let go.
Hold on, let go.
When you talk about society pressure, I'm assuming you're talking about having to go out and work and all of that, right?
I'm talking about just in general, like normal needs that we have. Taking care of everything.
Working. Okay. Isn't that something that y'all asked for when y'all demanded that y'all wanted to go work and for equal pay?
Wait a minute. How you gonna say what women prior to us asked for, and this is what I've been born into? Like I didn't specifically ask for that. And then of course you want equal pay.
So it's not society.
Let go. Wait, bro. Go ahead.
It's goofy ass women, not society.
Okay. So when your mama taught you that you should be strong and independent, did you say, no, mom, I don't want to do that? Or did you lean into it and go on to do it?
We're waiting.
Well, honestly, you naturally lean into it, I think, because of what you're raised into. But I think when you get older and you understand like the benefit of being like in your divine feminine. I'm not saying you need to be like completely soft and somebody take care of me, but I'm saying it's okay to be soft, be able to be in my soft woman, because I feel like I can give more. Do you know what I mean? Like if I'm tired, and I'm doing everything that I normally do for myself, if you come into my life, it's not saying I can't do everything for myself, but why am I still doing 100%?
Okay, wait a minute. All right. So with that being said, so you're basically saying that you made an active choice to go out there and be independent, work for yourself, be an adult. That's basically what you just said, right? You made an active choice to be an adult.
You have to. Yeah.
How on God's green earth does somebody coming into your life and paying half your bills mean that you're still doing 100%? That they're not adding to?
No, I didn't say that. Obviously, you're not doing 100% if they're there.
You led with saying that these guys want 50-50 and they're not adding to me. They should be adding to me. Going 50-50 would literally mean that they're making
50-50 is adding though. 50-50 is adding. I threw that in there as and they'll say that, but what I'm saying is 50-50 is not always 50% financial. It might be 50-50 spiritual. It might be 50 you picking up the kids. 50-50 is us going half. So it might not really be 50. It might be 100%. But some people aren't willing to do that.
Hold on, let go.
I do want to get paired.
Hold on, let go. So my question is, in majority of the relationships that you've seen where the couple goes 50-50, have you ever seen where it was mostly one-sided in majority of those relationships? Or did you typically see that both parents give equally? Whether that's one parent got to drop the kids off, the other one got to pick them up. One parent does most cooking, the other one got to do the cleaning. One parent does work in evenings, the other one works mornings. Don't you typically see that in these 50-50 relationships?
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with the 50-50 in a sense, because it's not really 50-50. The thing is 100% of what I can give and 100% what you can give. So it's not 50-50 in the terms of cheating each other. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about like deliberately cheating each other, but I'm saying like give what you can give and I give what I can, so we can meet in the middle as a family. We're supposed to be a unit, not just. I'm saying don't be expecting to be up in here for free.
All right, so get paradise in there, y'all.
But if we're not married, then you can't be getting husband, stuff either. You're not about to be getting all the
Well, don't
husband
give it.
royalties if you're not married.
All you got to do is
Well,
not give
excuse
it.
me?
We don't take nothing. You know, all you have to do is not give it, and you won't have be at this deficit that you're speaking of. So just keep that in mind.
Exactly.
Y'all are
No, I
giving
agree.
certain things because y'all want to. Just like
Exactly.
Lady Di said, it's a choice. Y'all are making all these dumbass choices, and then y'all get mad at the society for being in this deficit. Stop doing stupid shit as women, not you, and y'all won't have these problems.
All right, let's
No,
get
I
Paradise
agree
in there. Go ahead,
1,000%.
Paradise. Hold on, Vegan. Let's get Paradise in there. Gold digger is a word used by broke men only. Wealthy men have no problem.
So the answer to the question is, well, the phrase posed, gold digger is an actual term. And gold digger is applicable for women who actually just want money. They can be sold to the highest bidder. Their whole scapegoat is, if you can't, the language y'all be using, Vegan Chef Bay just said, if you can't do nothing for me, why am I with you? And that's not something that only broke men say. Wealthy men don't want a woman who don't want them. Wealthy men want a woman who is also loyal. And one of the most greatest examples that I can show you guys is literally Drake. He's bought over 32 wedding rings. He's never done the whole jumping the broom thing for whatever reason, but it does show like the most richest man in the world right now, Jeff Bezos, he's not even married. Men value loyalty, and it doesn't just stop at broke men. That's, to me, that term and the way that it's phrased is the way for women to kind of manipulate men into giving them money and providing for them a form of husbandly duties before they even get the ring. So the misinformation that Vegan Chef Bay said was that women did not work. Black women have always worked since we got over here off the plantation, on the plantations. We've always worked. It's never been a thing. They still got laws in place in like the first original 13 colonies that if Black women refuse to work for white women, they could be jailed. So we got to stop saying that. That's number one. Number two, that we need to stop saying, and we got to unlearn. Men do not make you soft. If you need a man to tell you how to be a woman, you need to go revisit some things, because being soft, being in your feminine, that's not something a man can give to you. Either you are it or you're not. But you don't get to sit and say, I want a man to come in my life and help take the load off so it can make me soft. You should already be soft. You don't need a man to teach you and coach you on how to be a woman or up in your feminine. All you need to do is modify your feminine to adapt to his life so you can be the partner he needs.
All right, go ahead, Trev. What are your thoughts about it, sir?
All right. To answer the question, no, it's trash. Many wealthy men that I know personally, and if you watch some of these, like the skits and stuff, or, oh, if she's a gold digger, it's usually people with some money that's about to hop into a Lambo and everything else. It's something that all men appreciate. A woman that wants him for who he is, judging by his character, his moral value, just who he is as a person. That no man appreciates a woman who just wants him for the money. No normal man. That's just not what it is. Whether he's wealthy, whether he's in the middle, whether he's broke, there's not going to be any man who's going to want a woman that just wants you for your money, because she's going to treat you a certain way or not treat you a certain way. You want a woman to love you. You want a woman to take care of you. You want a woman to be there when you need her, right? That nurturing spirit. That's what you want. Gold diggers don't possess that. They never did. They never will. Gold diggers are in it for themselves. And that's pretty much the core meaning of a gold digger. Just a woman who is there just for the money and nothing else. She might fake it for a little while, but she never will love you, and she never will be loyal. She has no loyalty to you. A woman can't be loyal to you if she doesn't love you or respect you. And gold diggers do neither.
Okay. What about you, Lady Di? I'm not sure if you really answered the question. Just was responding, but gold digger is a word used by broke men only. What are your thoughts?
So yeah, I agree with Trev said. Gold digging or gold diggers are the ones who just look at what you have. If you don't have the nicest shoes that they believe is nice, they're not going to mess with you. As soon as you look the part, then they will start, to entertain you. And I don't think it's about the type of money a man has. If a rich man wants to entertain, they know what ladies they're dealing with. If a rich man wants to entertain a lady that just wants him for his money, he's just gonna do it for fun. But at the end of the day, if he wants some type of loyalty from somebody, he's not gonna pick a gold digger. So it has nothing to do with being broke. You could have money and still don't want that because that's trash. But as far as providing for them, I mean, any man could provide for a lady. Providing for a woman does not mean you're part of the gold digger term. You're just a man providing for your family. You're a man providing for someone that you love, that you like. And I think men should do that. There's nothing wrong with it. They're protecting and providing. Protecting and providing also has something to do with, what you have and what you can provide with money. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. So that's all I have to say.
All right. What about you, Sweeney?
Well, to answer the question, no, I don't think that gold digger is a term that's only used by broke men. As a matter of fact, I think gold digging, even if they're digging for gold from rich men, actually affect broke men. Because a lot of times now what we're seeing is that every woman think they have access to a rich man. So if every woman is digging for gold for a rich man, where does that leave the average man when he has to deal with average ass women that are gold diggers? Who will never have access to that man, can't never get the money from him, but they still looking at it based on the fact that they saying on social media that this chick got $100,000 from Zion Williamson. Now she thinks she can get the same thing. So she ignores everybody around her, thinking one day she's going to get Zion Williamson. So of course, broke men do have a say in what gold digging is and how they feel about it, because it affects not necessarily broke men, but average men. Because we're not talking about broke men when we talk about this. There's a lot of broke men that can get women. There's a lot of men that got money that can't get women. So it is what it is. I'm talking about average men. Average men complaining about gold digging is just as valid as a rich man complaining about gold digging, because it affects us all.
I wanted to say this though. Is it vegan chef Bay? Earlier you were saying how, you're like, a man can't stay around here for free. Is that the terminology you used?
Get her ass.
I think that the gold digger, dang.
Uh-oh.
She may have X'd out. She probably was trying to unmute.
She might have hit the wrong button by mistake.
Yeah. But I think that a lot of women assume, first of all, a lot of women try to be in men's pockets thinking that because he spends time at your place, that he's now supposed to be taking over bills as if you weren't already paying those bills. To me, it always gives who's paying your bills, because why would you automatically think that this man is supposed to take over your bills if you're not paying them? I don't understand why women feel like they're entitled to men's money if the man is not just freely or willingly doing it for you. If he's not freely and willingly doing it for you, why do you feel like you're so entitled to it, or that there's a time frame where he should be doing it? I think that's where the gold digger mind frame comes from, because whether you do it or not, I have to, like, you're paying your bills. So do you think that you're making money and then putting some aside and then thinking that he's going to pay them?
That's why modern dating has really adopted the prostitution mindset. A lot of women date.
I was just about to say that.
A lot of women date with the terminology of escorts and prostitutes, and they reject it, and they don't realize that what they're saying. You basically putting yourself on a market for a bar scan code. That's what you're doing. When you say things like, he can't come here unless he's doing something for me, when you're making those type of connotations and those type of verbiages, that came from women who sell coochie. That's what that is. When we got to learn to take that out of our vernacular, if that's not the type of woman you are, and say, I want a man who I can grow with and build with me the way that I build with him. I want a man who come in who can teach me, who I can learn with, because the moment that y'all start saying it, it goes straight back to money. And everybody know when it go to money, it ain't genuine.
Do y'all know why it's the biggest? I want to hear what you got to say, Vegan. I just want to say this one thing, because I want to hear what you got to say too. I think is a whole bunch of broke ass women who don't know how to pay their bills, and they're hoping that somebody at some point comes in because she has a vagina and help her with these damn bills, because she done struggled her ass into a corner, and she has no other hope than some dude to come in and for her to trade her vagina for some money, like almost long term or whatever, because she was so goddamn broke.
I don't think that's what
Hold
it means.
on, hold on a second there, because I think y'all might be missing what she's saying there, because our primary functions as men, right, are protect, provide, and problem solve, right? So if that's the case, right, and we tell women all the time, you can't come into a relationship and then be masculine. A man can't unlock your masculinity. So we tell women to come into situations prepared as if you want to be a wife, right? So men, I think women have the right to be able to ask, hey, listen, I want you to at least act like a husband if that's what you are trying to be. So any woman whose life I have actually stepped into and took it seriously, then sure, I'm going to provide at some level. I'm not going to be tricking off all crazy for nothing. But if you were doing your part, I'm going to make your life easier.
The issue with what you're saying, Trev, is there are women who will go into a situation and they'll say, well, why would I cook for a man and he's not my husband? Or why would I change the way I dress?
Some people say that, but I like to cook anyway because I like to eat. So, like, I'm a cook.
My point is, we got an unbalanced equilibrium. You have all these women with all these expectations based off their previous experiences. Because I know Mr. Lego was saying things like, oh, is she already broke? No, she's entitled. She has already set herself up with a project. The project didn't reap no benefits. So the next man she's going to get this adverse reaction of her because she's already given so much and she didn't get what she wanted out the deal. So you have to come.
I agree.
I can agree. I can agree with that. I can agree with that a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Like it don't be what essentially the women do be making an unbalanced projection to the men. They're making an unbalanced proposition.
So Vegan baby, what do you think?
Right.
I was gonna say,
hold on. What about Vegan Babe?
I think she froze.
I think she got a delay. I think she got a delay too.
Oh, she got a delay. Vegan Baby, you there?
Oh yeah. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
Just to touch base on what everybody was saying, I will agree about the adverse reaction on a sense. So obviously, you know, me saying what I said is partially how I feel in a sense, right? But the other piece of it is, yeah, I did the whole wifely duty things for a good 5 years. Took care. He lost his job. I provided for the entire house. We had a kid together deliberately. All this good old woo-hoo. Now, no, I wasn't married, but in terms of being together and being loyal and all that, I did that. He fell in hard times. I helped take care of him and everything. I did the whole quote unquote 9. Out of it, in terms of assistance in the beginning, he was helping with the kids, all that good stuff. When he started getting irritated and he started getting his little, I don't know, his feelings or whatever. I don't know what he thought the relationship was supposed to bring for him in terms of filling in his own void. You know, a lot of us come to relationships hoping that it solves our problems, whether we done been to therapy or not. And so if you get with a woman and you thought it was going to make you feel whole and it didn't, and she can speak life into you all day, but it didn't necessarily do what it needed to do because you didn't do your internal work. You have a kid, you think it's going to fill a void. It didn't do any of that for him. He was still talking crazy. He still kind of got out of hand, no matter how much I'm helping out, taking care of everything. But in the sense, after that relationship, I would say I'm slightly scarred, but I'm not like what you bring to the table in that sense, as much as if we're doing this, I'm not going to be investing 100% and you're investing 2%. I can't do that anymore because I find myself, yes, in a deficit because I naturally want to attend to a man like a wifely person. Okay, let's cook for you. Let's massage. If I'm with you and I choose to commit to you, then I'm all in. And it gets to be, a difficult thing if I'm all in and he's not all in. Or he was all in the beginning and just enough to get in, and now he started slacking, Doesn't
that mean it's important for you to not pick a bum?
Well, if a person starts off with a job, though, how could and they're having all these illusions? So this person was quote
bum can
unquote
have a
conscious,
job.
was reading, was very educated to the point where I didn't perceive anything. You know what I mean? Until we moved together, certain things weren't revealed. So by
why
then,
did y'all move together? Because he moved in your house, right?
no, we moved together. I moved from a whole nother state.
Oh, I thought you said he was in your house. Okay, so
He lost his job, and then I took care of everything at one point. So yeah.
Oh, okay. But my whole thing is just a question. Wouldn't it have made more sense for you to have gotten married before you moved to another state to be with a man and turn around and have a baby with him on purpose? Your words?
I would agree. I'm not going to disagree with any of that, with the whole promises of marriage and stuff like that. But me living in 6 hours away, I moved to the state. We didn't get married right away. It was a whole bunch of, let's put it off, whatever. Obviously, I didn't know that I was dealing with the person I was dealing with, and the red flags were not big enough for me to pay attention to.
Marriage, he would have more or less backed off. Like,
no, I agree. I'm not gonna sit up here and say I was perfect at 26 years old. My mind wasn't necessarily in the mature state. I'm just saying at that time I was head over heels, dumbfounded by love, moving in a way that I can't say is 100% how I would move now, because my brain is much more matured and left over from the tragedies. But at 26 years old, fresh out of college, 2 years, I was all excited about love and marriage, the idea of it and everything else. And so I did things that I probably wouldn't say I would do now, or tell a little girl to have advice to do if I was to pass that down. But those are the mistakes I made.
So basically you were young and dumb.
Yeah, I would say so.
Almost 30.
I don't think
they always young and dumb, bro. They always young and dumb.
30, but when you're in college, you're not out here trying to live life. If I'm focused on college,
it's crazy.
Well,
if you would have required marriage, you would have realized he was a loser because he would have started making excuses on. Do y'all realize if you require marriage, listen. If you require man to marry you, he's going to run if he's a loser. It's just really simple. The only way you could tell
some men marry you, but some men marry you.
Y'all missing some context here.
The issue
with what you saying is, he had already made a huge commitment. He let this woman move 6 hours into his house, and he took her on.
That's not no commitment.
Well, we moved together. He didn't have his own house. We got an apartment together.
Okay, that's fine.
How's that a commitment?
But wait, give me 1 second. There was a commitment there. It takes a commitment to go live with somebody. I don't think people actually consider what that is. Like, that is a huge commitment to merge your life, merge your bills, merge your finances.
No, it's not. Not to men.
That's convenient.
It is.
Some people.
And I'll be honest with you. I think that she dodged a bullet.
I'm not saying it's a ring. I'm not saying that. Please don't get me mistaken. But when you make a decision to say, you know what, I'm gonna go and give away all my stuff, and you go give away all your stuff, and you move in with somebody, that is a commitment. Whether
from a man's point of view, it's not. It's not.
That's convenient.
Look, I've had women live in my house, and I committed. It was a commitment.
Listen.
It is not a form of commitment to a man. A man would love to live with a woman so you can wake up the ass every morning. It is not a commitment to men. To women, yes. It's not to men. It's not.
I'm gonna say this, and the reason why I asked you that question, V, because I pretty much knew that's where you're gonna go with that. Basically saying you were young and dumb. And here's the problem with what you said, because I'm gonna tie this back into what you said initially when you were asked about the topic. When you say you were young and dumb, oftentimes, this is what I had to tell my daughter. If you ever hear the "I was young and dumb" excuse, or you hear somebody say "I was young and dumb," or you use it, all you're telling the other person is you need to excuse everything I did at that point because I was young and dumb, and I still expect this result from you. You still need to do
X, you Y, Z. Said young and dumb, and I agreed to it. So I didn't say I was young and dumb. I made
that means not you say young decisions. And dumb if you agreed to it. So let them finish.
So here's the problem with that. If I'm the one coming into that situation, this is what I told my daughter, and this is what I would tell anybody. If you're gonna say I was young and I was dumb at that time, you have to sell yourself to the next person. You have to say, all right, I get that I did X, Y, Z at that time, but here's how I can be an asset to you now, given the way that I am now. Here's the problem, though. When you spoke up about how you felt about going into the next relationship, you talked about everything a person's supposed to do for you, despite the fact that they have to hear that you were young and dumb when you gave somebody more for less. So if I'm coming in, I got to give you more than the last person did, and you gave the last person more, and they didn't do shit. How do you think that's going to come? How do you think that's going to come off to the next man when you're all expectations and you come in and say, "Hey, look, I'm not. Why would I do wife duties if I don't have a husband? But I expect you to be a husband for me because that's my expectation out the door." He has to be a husband.
But I wouldn't say that I would denounce any of my stuff. I wouldn't say that I still wouldn't cook and all that stuff as who I am. I'm not bitter, so I'm not like, I'm not gonna give you nothing. I'm not that person. I'm not bitter from my stuff. I've healed and worked on certain things. So I still think I should say, if I'm coming into a commitment and we're choosing to possibly further ourselves, then I should still be willing to give whatever if I'm saying come as a husband, I need to still be willing to come as a wife. So I'm not going to expect you to do something I'm not going to come in with. So I never said that. I'm saying, but you also have the right to grow too, right? Like if I learn from what I went through, why would I repeat the same? Well, I know I gave him less. Let me just give you less. A lot of you men think that once a woman gave, like, okay, if I had sex with him when I was 18, so I'm supposed to just give it to you nonchalantly. At some point, everybody has the right to make an executive decision, just like some of y'all might have been flinging y'all penis around until y'all got focused on y'all goals. Now you know women can be a distraction. Now you know you shouldn't be just putting your shit and everything without a condom, right? Because you might have, whatever. You get wiser, you move ahead. You don't go ahead and go back to dumb mistakes just because you made one when you were younger. You're never going to grow that way. Well, yeah, I know I gave him everything, blah, blah, blah. Now, if my man that loves me and is equally balanced with me and we get married and he's taking care of me and he falls on hard time, yeah, I'm going to step up as a wife because I still think that if we're together, I'm not going to let you fall. What I know is not to do that for someone that's not my husband. What I know is not to do that.
Hold on, Paris. Let me say something real quick.
Hold on. We're going to go to Lady Di and then we got to get Penny in there. Penny and Ali.
The issue with what you're saying is it's like you're not holding what you did accountable. You keep saying that this man did this and that. And the only thing I did was be young and dumb, right? I was 25. I was 26. So in order to move on and to really have a better relationship for the next go round, and I mean a successful, happy one, is you have to hold yourself accountable. Like when I was 19, 20 years old, I was engaged before, right? I don't walk around saying, well, it was just him. It was just him, it's his fault. No, I say, well, I don't say I'm young and dumb, but I say, I chose the wrong person. He wasn't, the one that was marriage minded. I thought he was, but he had red flags showing that he wasn't this way. So I needed to, make sure that I vet better. Okay. I don't say, like, for me, I don't say, oh, I was 19 years old or I was 20 years old. That's the reason why I made this bad choice. Because when you move out of your house, you should be able to become mature, because some of us are already moving out and paying our own rent at the age of 18 years old. So if you're able to pay your own rent, get your food and all this other stuff, go to college, you should be able to make decisions and pick better. So walking around saying that I'm 25 years old is, to me, an excuse, and it's not holding yourself accountable. Not just you. I'm just talking about, you're not the only person that says this. A lot of people that actually say that. You got to hold yourself accountable.
Well, no, and
you got to put more responsibility to your actions and not use that I was young as the excuse. That's a terrible excuse.
Maybe y'all didn't hear her hold herself accountable.
No, and I wouldn't use it as an excuse.
Wait, how?
One at a time, y'all.
How did she hold herself accountable?
I definitely heard her say, she said she was head over heels. She said she knows that, she shouldn't have made those. She said those things.
No, it wasn't. When you start saying that you're 25, no. When you start saying,
y'all.
It wasn't until Sweeney said, so are you saying that you were young and dumb? And she said, and she agreed. She summed it up and said that, but she did hold herself accountable. She says she's not bitter. I think when women do come on these panels and they tell you what they've done, you want to beat their head in the ground.
No, that's so.
You literally said it.
If you are going to hold yourself accountable, you cannot use excuses like I was 25 with the same narrative. Oh, well, I was head over heels. Just go with that instead of using a whole total opposite excuse. That's what I'm saying. That's what
she literally said. That
she did hold herself accountable, and then they walked into another sector. I was gonna say the thing that I think is the issue here is during that situation, it transferred into an adverse reaction because you hear her use the language that women use as far as in the realm of the umbrella of sex work. So she has adopted some of those mentalities, and because of the fact that she's not leading with, I'm going to be a wife first. When you hear that, that's the drawback. She's leading with, you ain't going to come over here and not do nothing for me.
That's what I was talking about.
That's
what
my
point.
We did address that in the beginning,
But
but
you
when
have
we were
to make.
But when we were talking about the second part, when she said, okay, I shouldn't have been with him. I'm not bitter. I'm not like, I should have been married. She did say,
she did acknowledge all of those things.
That's after someone asked the right question. If we were just listening, right, and we didn't ask her nothing and say, hey, well, what about this, and give other ideas, then it would have never came out, and we would have just been thinking.
You can't take back the fact that she said it.
Well, that's because we're all chiming in. There was no time to go in. There was no time to go deep into a scenario. We're all just asking. He's asking everybody the question statement. So it's a quick little response. Okay. If we're going diving deep, then that's when more things will come out. I can give my story or what I've been through as to why that response was that. When we ask more questions, that's when we ask questions, you get answers. You know what I mean? Like more clarification. Why somebody's mind, why they think the way they think when we communicate.
I got you. Hold on to that story for a little bit. I'm gonna go to Penny, then Ali. Penny, what are your thoughts about the topic?
I don't really know what. Did you guys see like a video or something? I don't really know what that was.
Yeah, it was a video that I played.
From listening to Vegan, I definitely understand, but I just wouldn't suggest her trying to explain it on this panel. If it doesn't sound like what they want it to sound like, then it won't make sense to them. I think the words that she used, even if she did use a word that's triggering or a word that you guys do not like Precious said, she did explain it and she did break it down. So you should appreciate that. I mean, coming on these panels, a lot of people don't know how to talk in the language that you would like them to talk in or use the words that you would like them to use. Doesn't mean that she doesn't, have accountability for what she did. But I think the words that she's using, you guys are taking that and trying to run her story for her, when I just think you guys shouldn't do that.
It's not about panel. We're having a real life conversation. So
well, we are, but you're used to talking. You're used to putting your thoughts into certain sentences and making it make sense. She may not be like that.
Well, Penny,
that's not the point. We're not trying to like.
Well, let me say this, Penny. I can understand what you're saying. You're looking at it from a panel standpoint, and you come on these panels and people come in and attack you and all the word. Not exactly. She don't know how to talk.
Be like,
she don't know how to talk.
To tell me what word to use for my situation.
Penny, hold on. I'm on your side. So people come on these panels and they're not used to being on the panels, and all together they just talk. And they don't realize that they sound like these bird brain chicks out here without even realizing it. Because hold on, Paris, hold on. And they're just talking, right? But the thing about it is we just simply hear what we hear. And if we've heard other women say it, it does have us like, oh, hell, here we go again. Because to us as men, I can only speak as a man, not to the ladies on the panel. It sounds like all these women went to a school to learn all this dumb shit because they all say the exact same stuff. So
but you guys are vets, so you guys should be used to that. You should know someone coming on here fresh up here telling you her story. Let her break it down to you to make sense.
Penny, we're just responding to what we hear. And if
but
you're also yelling like, get her when somebody starts kicking you. You're like, get her. So you're making it antagonistic when it could just be an open forum. Because get her means get her, not open forum. Like, let's communicate because we're all adults and we're all breaking something down. That's a little antagonistic. We're not supposed to be going after each other. Communicating like adults.
Hold on. So
you're
vegan,
hold on, Paris. Somebody who
hold on, y'all. Hold on. One at a time. Please,
vegan, one at a time. Hold on, vegan. I want to say this. I want to apologize to you for saying that because I did say that. So you being a new person on the panel, and I'm up here like, get her, Lady Di. I was wrong for that because it makes it where now you're the enemy for you simply speaking your own truth. So I do want to apologize because I don't want to start the show off with that energy, and now you got a bad feeling throughout the rest of the night. So I do want to apologize for that. Go ahead, y'all.
So the reason why, the reason why I asked her that question, I said, so basically you're saying you were young and dumb, was because everything that she said prior to that alluded to the language of I was young and I was dumb. That's the reason why I asked her. So there was a reason why I said that, because everything she said basically said I was young and dumb in like 5 different ways.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
in her mouth, and then y'all kicked them down her throat.
I didn't put the words in her mouth. I asked her. I said, "So are you saying are you saying that you were young and dumb?" She said, "Yes." I didn't put those
But in
words in her mouth.
essential, I agree with you to make a balance between what I'm understanding and what you're understanding. It's like meeting you halfway, so you can say, "Oh, I get where you're coming from." I'm saying I was 26, so I wouldn't say I was necessarily young. I was an adult. At the point I had already had a son, so I was already making a mature decision in terms of taking care of my own place, had my own car, graduated college. So I was doing mature things. But in terms of love, I would say I did not make a mature response, because yes, I had a child already. He came in wanting to be father. He was one of those people where they call a covert narcissist. So you're presenting someone to me that I felt like I could depend on. You're showing me things, you're helping me, you're making me feel good. You're making me feel good, not necessarily like a man, whatever, because at the time my child was 5. So it wasn't like I was just out here having babies. I finished school and all that stuff. So I was making mature decisions. But if someone comes to me the way they came to me, making it feel like, oh, I'm a conscious man, mature, I'm aware of the society, and I'm here. It was certain things that alluded to, I got you, baby girl. Now, people will love bomb you. People will get in your face. And once they get you to a certain point, they will reveal themselves to you. This is a possible thing. Not all men, some men. So if it doesn't apply to you, it's no big deal. But if it applies, then that's different. Some men and some women can be narcissistic. And they can be gaslighting and all that stuff, and they won't reveal themselves until they're at a different level.
All right, we got to get back on topic.
Yeah.
We got to get back on topic. We're just going all over the place. Go ahead, Ali. What are your thoughts about the topic? Gold digger is a word used by broke men only. Wealthy men have no problem providing for their woman.
Well, it just shows the reality of society where we still care about what women feel or what women going through, and always being there for women who supposedly broken or young. And I'm not taking anything from what she's saying. I would like to dissect some more of the past situation, but I won't go in there. But I still don't see how we haven't addressed the topic again. It says gold digger is a word used by broke men only. And broke men only. Wealthy men have no problem providing for their woman. So in the fact that we're speaking about broke men, do we also accept the fact that if we're going to look at women who are broke, most black women make less than black men? Why is it's still okay to shame men? How do we define a broke man? Me and Paris did this before. If we're saying a gold digger is a word used by broke men only, what do we mean by broke men? And why are we shaming brothers if they are broke? If black women make less than black men and they're single mothers, and we call them strong and independent, and we say they're trying women, why do we shame brothers for the same thing? And if those women can provide, is a broke man able to provide? If broke women are able to provide, isn't a broke man able to provide? And I feel like, again, this is something that shames men. It belittles men who aren't wealthy. But why is it this the wealthy man can provide, but a man who isn't broke or has a substantial amount of money be able to provide? But we're not addressing the fact, again, this is saying gold digger. We're not even dissecting relationships, right? We know that there's gold diggers out there, and a lot of relationships aren't working because a man's finances isn't enough. A woman wants you to finance her whole life, her whole lifestyle, her luxury, and she doesn't want to put no work into it. So I would think that that's what we're addressing. We shouldn't be we could dissect relationships, but I thought we were dissecting the fact that we're speaking on gold diggers. There's wealthy men that know about gold diggers. There's broke men that know about gold diggers. The average man knows that majority of relationships are not working because what a man does is not enough. Most women want more than providing. Most women want you to finance her dreams. Most women want you to say what she thinks, care about what she cares about, lead her to which direction she wants to go. It ain't just about providing. And that's why a lot of relationships don't work. There's a lot of men who could provide for their relationships, but a lot of men get with women who are typically toxic. They're undesirable. They don't really know how to communicate. They don't know how to love. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to cater. They don't know how to clean. They don't know how to work for a family. They don't know how to work for a man. They don't know how to work for a baby. So then they'll talk about a man's finances when I thought we're just good enough. I thought we were 50-50 like Sweeney said. Y'all say we're 50-50 and we're equal. So shouldn't a woman be providing too? Why are we still talking about a man providing? The woman should be providing too. So if we're in this nuance of where there's not a traditional man and traditional woman, that means she need to be providing too. So why can't two incomes come into the household? Because what is she doing? A lot of women are working for another man and paying another woman to watch her kids. What is it that a man's getting in these relationships with women? That's all I want to know. I don't know how we went to where we went to when I thought we were dissecting what a gold digger was versus the nature of a woman.
And also, I wanted to say to that point, there's some women who are just not appreciative. They got men that they're with, taking care of them and the family, but that's not enough because they want a bigger house. Okay, I want a house with 6 bedrooms. This 3 bedroom is too small. Why'd you buy me that used car? I want a new car. So there's men out here, doing what they're supposed to do as far as you having a roof over your head and having, 4 wheels to drive on. But then that's broke. Sometimes people say, okay, well, you didn't buy me new car, so now you broke. You didn't buy me this type of shoe, so now you broke. So I think that we need to make sure, I think what Paris was saying is that we need to make sure that we are growing together, building together from the start. And then maybe, you can have these things later on, but just don't expect it from the jump. Your first year of your relationship into a marriage, second year, sometimes it takes a while to get these things. So.
Yeah, it's really shaming at the basis of it. It's really women trying to manipulate men into doing things and providing for them, because ideally we've let scammers and celebrities run the sector what relationships should be. But even when you listen to Kim Kardashian, the main reason why her and Kanye even broke up was because he felt like all he needed was money to replace everything else that she needed. But women don't listen to that. You still need men to come in and provide those other things that they can show you, hey, this is what comes under my leadership. This is what comes under my provision. Broke men are not the only men who call women gold diggers. Rich men do too. They talk about it in the NBA. They give them whole scripts and tell them to be aware. They tell them about that in the NFL. It's been a thing going on for a long period of time. It don't matter what sector of men you get in, they understand what a gold digger is. And some men play the game and some men don't.
Right. All right. Vegan Chef, are you coming back on cam? Vegan Chef, are you there? Oh, okay.
Can we also put to bed something real quick? Now, in all my years of talking to people, I've never heard anybody that was okay with 50-50 expecting their woman to do all the household work. Never in my life. That doesn't even work in real relationships that I've seen. It doesn't work because life has a way of making that work. Like life shows you that you can't, that's impossible. So I've never seen a situation where men go 50-50 or are willing to go 50-50, expect their women to be the full-blown submissive, don't do anything but take care of the house type of woman. Do you know who I do hear say that? Men who have the money to take care of their women. They are the only men that I've ever heard say, I need my woman to be at home and she doesn't need a job. It's the men that can provide that. Stop lying on these men that are going 50-50 in their relationships. They don't say that shit. I've never seen it.
And can I ask a question to y'all real quick? Just a question. Who's just cooking and cleaning? Is that a lot of work? Like the typical woman is already a single mom, right? So she's already doing cooking and cleaning in her own house. The majority of y'all aren't having new kids with these dudes. Like, just look at the typical situation. A dude is dating a woman, they don't have a child together and they just are dating, or either a dude dates a woman who has a child and she's taking care of her own child. It's not a lot of these dudes out here, because you already know the second a woman gets pregnant, they break up. So people ain't together when the baby be born. The woman gets the hell on. The second she gets her baby, she's out, because that's really all she wanted. So in most of these situations is a man and a woman living in the house, and she's bringing her child into the house. And then now it's like, I can't believe I'm doing 50-50. You were doing this shit before you met the man because it's your own child. Am I wrong or what?
You're 100% right.
Well, I believe that it becomes a lot of work when you have a lot of kids. But if it's just you, your man, and
Your
a
own child.
child, right, or
Yeah.
whatever your point, then it still can be a little hard only if I guess if the lady's working, 40 hours or overtime, and then she has
So
to
the
come
same thing she
home.
was doing when she was single.
Yes, I understand, but then she got with the man, right? Because she assumed that the man was going to start providing, right? So as long as they have a dynamic of an agreement saying, hey, you're going to take over, you're just going to be the stepfather, and you're working in that way, then the man is, technically supposed to provide for that mother and the child that he decided to be with as well. That's choices. But I think what you're saying is that women are already doing it and they expect the men to do it, whoever they're messing with, not in a serious note. But
No,
yes,
serious. They move in together, but she's doing
marriage.
all of the work on her own in her own life. They didn't make a kid together, and she's taking care of a 1-year-old. She got a 9-year-old, and she's taking them to practice, all the stuff that she's been doing. And then her and a man moves in together, whatever, gets married or whatever. And all of a sudden, all the shit that she's been doing for the last 9 years, all of a sudden is now a problem. And she's mad at the man. And one of the main things that the man is providing that is not financial, he's a father figure to her big-headed ass child. So even if he don't do nothing, he's still providing something that wasn't there in the first place.
And that's
But
why
besides that, what else is he offering in the sense? If you're saying, well, you're doing.
Hold on, let Precious go, and then you go.
I was going to say that's why a lot of men say that women won't love them like their mothers do, right? Because if a woman is taking care of a child without the man, she's taking care of that child because the child needs her. If a woman has an attitude or a problem with taking care of a man, she's looking at it like, well, what are you doing to be here? Like, why do I have to take care of you? Where did
that come in?
Mind you, it's not the right mindset because a wife is going to take care of her husband. But I think a lot of women, a lot of single women, a lot of single moms have the mindset that I have to take care of this child because they need me to take care of them. I don't think that they have the mindset of just serving and nurturing things like that. So when the man comes along, they're thinking that the man is going to take the load off, thinking that they don't have to give him things that he needs, like nurturing, like a plate, like a freaking massage, the simple things. I think women think that has to be crazy. It has to be it's really simple, but they're not looking at it like that. They're thinking that the man is going to come in and do what they need, like they're the baby. And I think that the mom has to change. It's like, no, you're not his mom, but you're the woman in his life. You're the lady in his life. You're the nurturer. You're the one that's supposed to be soft. You're the one that he's supposed to be able to just hug and lean on. But a woman is looking for a man to come pay the bills, come save the day. And it's like,
save her.
You give a little to get a little. And you have to know how to use that feminine. But I think a lot of women come in with attitudes and the harshness, and they're fed up and they're tired when they're putting that energy in the wrong place. They're channeling it in the wrong place.
And
a
also,
lot of times they're fed up and tired of their own life before the man is there. And then when the man is there, she's fed up with him, but the life is the same life that she had before the damn man.
It's because the 50-50 that they're looking at is literally like, it should be 50-50 of bills. They talking about 50-50 of everything else. So if you just look at kind of like what Precious was saying, you are splitting money together. You're putting half and half in this way. But then when it comes to you being a wife, then you be a wife. You cook, you clean, and you're not saying the man can't do that, but you are the nurturing space for him, and he is going to be the protector for you. So just like we're going to be simple, he's cutting the grass, he's doing all the manly work. He's going to do that. But then you're saying that he's not doing enough. No, he is doing something. You just don't like it because he's not doing what you want him to do. So we have to make sure that we are being in our natural space as a female and a male, and do that collectively. And if you're going to do 50-50, do that with your dollars. Don't split your mind and say, well, I can't be I'm a half a wife now because now I got to pay bills. No, that's ridiculous.
Right.
And just for the record, women are helpmates. Y'all are supposed to come in our lives and help us. We don't supposed to come in y'all lives and help y'all.
Wait a minute now.
All right, hold on. Let me get you and Chef Bay. Go ahead.
We're supposed to help each other in some capacity. If I'm only there to help you, how is that benefiting in the sense of balance? Because you're helping me, I help you in the sense, right? If you're providing protection, I provide you peace. You come home to a home cooked meal.
I already had peace when I was single.
So you chose to be with me for what? Like, what did you choose to be with a woman for, though? What was the purpose? You wanted something from me. So obviously, I also wanted something. You wanted peace. You wanted something. There's a reason why you chose to get in a covenant with a woman. What was the reason?
Well, that's the
Because
biggest
you had peace
problem.
before me. Why you choose to be with me?
I think that's where the disconnect is with the energy of a man need to come in here and help me with my blah, 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 blah. What's the use of da-da-da-da?
You said I already had peace before you. I'm saying, what is the what is your choice for being in a relationship? Just for the benefit of me?
Let's talk about the other side first. I understand what you're saying, but let's talk about the other side first, because that's the main conversation. Why is a man coming into a woman's life? It's assumed that a man is going to come into her life and help her. That is not our jobs. We ain't helpmates. Y'all are helpmates. If y'all don't turn around and became single mothers and got all these issues and problems with children and all this other shit, that ain't got nothing to do with us. Your job as a woman is to be a man's helpmate. And if you got a child, you and your child gonna come in the man's life and make his life better. And it's not just peace, because his life was peaceful before your ass came here because he wasn't with nobody. Your job is overall is to find out what he needs and be an asset to him. And in exchange, he's going to take care of your little big-headed child, and he's going to pay most likely the majority of the bills, or at least half of the bills. And if he pays half of the bills, guess what? That's 50. You just made 50 to 70 more $1,000 a year at your job, because he done brought in $50,000 to $60,000 a year from his income. So you just got a $50,000 a year raise, and you got somebody to take care of your little big-headed child. That's
all right, hold on. We gotta move on, y'all. You guys just tuned in. Welcome to Lapeef Let's Talk. Let's make sure we hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the sponsor, T Channel, Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. 30% off along with a free gift. Let me go ahead and get to these super chats real quick. Derek T, member 21 months, says salute Lapeef and the panel. Salute to you, sir. Trigger Mike, $5, says I was young and dumb is the favorite excuse of grown and dumb. Please remove that from your vocabulary. Marcus Evans, $5, says what's going on, panel? Where did y'all get Vegetable Bay from?
That's vegan Bay.
Vegan Bay, yeah. Frenchie K757, member 6 months. Let go, mute your mic. Not for the BS, $2. Said Mr. Let go, you a bird brain too, though. Rodney Robinson, $3 super sticker.
Wait, why y'all? So y'all just gonna be just laugh? Oh, okay. That's what y'all
There
gonna
is space for me.
Yo, the chat be coming for you, bro. I don't know what's up with that.
Y'all just gonna laugh? Okay, all right.
I can't help it.
Y'all just laughing? Okay, all right. I'm gonna remember that. All right.
Marcus Evans, $5, says thank you, Ali. Trigger Mike, $5, says no, being lady. When you help a man, you help yourself. Men are benevolent givers. When men focus on helping women, he loses focus.
Yes, I'm not helping no goddamn woman.
Says God and myself are current providers over here. And lastly, for right now, Quinn 199, Ali, you can't have my spot.
A man's presence is help to a damn woman. We ain't coming in your life to help you.
Dude,
what kind of shit is that?
I think we moved too fast from that topic, JR. I was getting heated. I think we're not addressing the elephant in the room, that women don't want to do anything for their men or for the kids or for their families. Like, I think we moving too fast away from it. And then when we talk about their responsibility, then they'll say they don't need a man. They're their own providers. They strong and independent. But if you want a man who's a provider, he's already 100-0. So if a man wants the caveat of you cooking and cleaning for him, which we don't talk about because we as men too afraid to say it. If I'm going to be with a woman, I'm 100-0 already. I don't
I ain't
need
afraid
you.
to say it.
A lot of brothers are though. If I'm already 100-0, I want you to cook and clean. I'll handle everything else. If you want to go to work, that's your problem. But you're going to work so you don't have to work for me and the baby. We're not addressing the fact that women are using the fact that they're working to not work for their family or their children, but they'll sweat their butt off to go work for somebody, go get a degree and be successful and brag about it all day long and brag about a divorce as well too. That's a whole nother story. But women today are not traditional women. They don't want to work for their families. They don't want to work for a man and they don't want to work for a baby. They always need a break. Everything a break. I need a break from cooking. I need a break from mothering. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to do anything. I want you to finance my life. And that's not all women. And I hate that we have to keep saying this because if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But we're not addressing the fact that women don't want to do anything but get a man to finance their life. And they don't even want a man. They just want him to finance their life.
Mm-hmm. Because
that's a gold digger.
She has that trusty
That's
vagina.
a gold digger.
She's sitting there like, well, I got this trusty vagina. How much money can
But
I
you know
get?
what? But you know what?
But that's what I'm saying. There's
the problem
to negotiate, Trev. If
well, no, look, yeah, there is. You know why? You know why that's the problem?
Hey, if
you know what? You know why that's a problem?
Go cook and clean.
I can tell you why that's a problem. Because we got suckers out here that move like that support that will patronize women. If we didn't have them type of dudes, if we ignored women like that, they couldn't exist. They couldn't do it. We're enabling them. We the ones sitting there putting all these likes and all that. They put a picture of their ass up on the screen and we sitting there liking it and all the heart emojis, the eggplant emojis. We do that. We the ones sitting there going in somebody Twitch or somebody OnlyFans and tricking for nothing. For nothing. Yeah, they doing nothing. You see them on the screen. You could go on. I could give you 1 million websites where you could go find all that for free. You gonna go see somebody live and pay for it for nothing, and they give you nothing. Women are validated on a regular basis for nothing, and it's men that are perpetuating it. If we stop perpetuating it, it can't exist. We got to stop the men from doing it too, because it can't happen unless we support it. If we don't patronize the 304s, they don't exist. If we don't patronize the gold diggers, they nobodies. We got to put a stop to it.
Here's the thing.
So that means all men will be the same? Finance. Is that what you're saying? There won't be no cookies out there if all men stop doing that?
No.
Of course there will be. There's always going to be that. And I don't even think we can stop it. We could try to lessen it, right? But it's our job. It's our job, right, to pull coats. When we see a man doing wrong, we got to talk about it. We got to pull a coat, because you shouldn't be doing that. We have to hold ourselves accountable. We have to hold each other accountable. So as many people as my voice is going to reach, if I see a man doing something that's out of pocket, I'm going to tell him. I'm going to say, yo, don't do that. This ain't how the game go. This is what you should be doing. I'm all for the support of women, but real women. I don't support 304s. I don't support women that are gold diggers. None of that. It's up to us to stop that, though, as men. As long as we support, they can't excel.
But what Trev's saying is absolutely right, because if you get women that go into a sector like me, Penny, Lady Di, Precious, and we call out what other women do, the first thing they say.
But I think that's the same thing for women.
No, it's not. Most times women say you should let other women do what they want to do. I want us to stop. I want us to be for real. I think the issue is a lot of times we think that if we're not moving monolithic, right? And this is kind of why I have an issue with the simple alpha male thing, because when the men that I'm around, they expect another man, the way that he moves, as long as it comes with a steady principle character. As long as that man got good characters and good morals, his friends don't have to do exactly what he's doing. Women don't operate like that. We don't operate on that contingency. If your girlfriend in a relationship, you got a problem if you're not in a relationship. But if she's single, you not single, you're trying to make her understand why she should understand that you're not single. You're going to check in with her more than you're checking in with your man. We don't understand the dynamic. You have a lot of women who are telling women, hey, I'm happy that I'm single and I can justify me not having kids because I'm X, Y, and Z, because I don't have to pick up behind somebody else. But all of these things are mute points, because you still got to go in the house and clean up behind yourself. And if anybody that been into the women's bathroom, they talk about a lot of cleaning. The truth is, we go behind some of these helpers. They ain't cleaning. I know what you're doing. It's nasty in the women's bathroom. All of us have been in the women's bathroom.
Them public bathrooms be nasty.
Worse. It'd be worse.
They do.
Traumatizing. I'm like, yo, live like this.
You done been to a woman and you know a woman who go out all the time. If you know a woman who go out all the time and she wears makeup, I bet you she has a nasty bathroom. So the whole cooking and cleaning dynamic, listen, when you grow a family, you're going to want to cook because it's cheaper. That's just a natural dynamic. When you actually have other people in the house, you're not sitting there picking up behind the kids all the time. You're teaching the kids how to clean up as well. And again, we don't talk about how many men have adopted the same independent mentalities that we have. So the same way we had to get up and go make money and become hustlers, they had to already turn around and go back into the home and become housekeepers. They know how to pick up behind themselves. They have to do it when
their moms know how to cook.
Stop talking in this negative realm as if men are going to be so codependent on you in the house. Like when he come in, he dropping his drawers at the door. No, he know what a bathroom is. He know how to do laundry. He know how to do these things. If you're available, he'll take the load off. But a lot of women talk these things and they psych themselves out. And we got all the TikTok regions. We got all the IG lives and all the Facebook things. And women go along with it like it's cosmopolitan.
But even if the man did drop their drawers at the door and he paying all the bills and you not, pick them shits up.
Or why they drop, to go ahead and say hello. Like, what we doing? You know what I mean? Like,
or give him some head if he try to draw.
I think that's what she meant. That's what she meant.
I'm gonna take care of him too. You know, like that's a real thing. You drop your drawers, I should take care of you too. You took care of the bills is paid, baby. I ain't got to stress over that. Hair should be tied when he comes to the door, food in the microwave. I just, hey, babe.
I got a question for the ladies. I got a question for the ladies. And the ladies in the chat, y'all can answer this too. If a man is providing 100% of all the bills, I mean everything, you don't spend a dime, everything is on him, what percentage of the say-so should you have over that money?
Depends on the maturity and the financial literacy of a female. Like,
no, the man knows. Just what percentage do you think a woman should have over that money? What percentage of say-so do you think you should have?
It depends on how financially responsible he is with his money.
He's not irresponsible. He pays all the bills. He knows what he's doing.
He's not irresponsible. It's just so to me, how I look at it is if the man has 100% of the money, right? You have a lady who, there's two different types of women. I'm just going to speak about a lady who is not responsible at all, which means she has an allowance. We spoke about this before. And then we have a lady who don't need an allowance because she knows how to spend money, right? So before, let's say you make a big purchase of some sort, you're supposed to anyway talk about the purchase. It's not like you're not having a conversation. That's irresponsible. Now, who makes the final say so? I'm sorry. So if you talk about it, you're right. You're saying the man should make the final say so because he's the man, he's the leader.
I'm asking.
Women don't want leaders; they want sponsors.
Hold on, wait. No. All I'm asking is whether that's her having input or whatever. What percentage of say so should she have over that money if he's the only person that's bringing the money in and he's paying all the bills? What percentage of say so should she have?
Some men provide the money, but the wife pays the bill.
That's the answer.
I'm gonna say
I'm gonna be honest. I say none because and I'm gonna tell you why. And everybody knows here. I know Trev specifically does know.
Hold on, Paradise. Don't explain yet. I want to get the other ladies real quick. Vegan? What percentage of say so do you think you should have over that money?
I mean, it's not necessarily say so, but I think like she like lady. Sorry, don't get mad at me. I can't see it. Lady die. Okay.
Make sure you switch it, sweetie, after you ask them.
Huh?
Just give me a percentage. What percentage? How much input percentage wise should you have over that money?
In terms of, I just feel like we should still communicate about it. It's not necessarily that I need to have any input. If you're making sure I'm good and you're making sure everything's okay and you're doing a good job at that, I don't feel like I should have to say.
Just give me a straight answer.
I don't think I should have any say so over the actual like money movement. If you're making a wise decision, now, if you're not doing a good job, then we should talk. But if he's financially savvy and he's doing a good job of everything, why should I shouldn't have to question him because I obviously married him with the intention that he's a leader enough to do what he's supposed to be doing.
That's a hard answer for y'all to. That's hard for y'all to answer this
Yes,
question.
it was a good answer though.
Nobody ever did it before in my
Hold on,
realm,
wait.
so I don't have an
Okay.
answer off
So
an
what if
educated.
what if it's the other way around and you paying all
Hold
the
on,
bills?
wait. No, Ali, hold on.
If I was
So-
taking care of the bill, I still think he should have a say in it because again, he's supposed to be the man of the household. You should be helping me figure this out. We supposed to be, you know what I mean? He if I'm taking care of the financial, then he still should be like, babe.
He's
But
just
this is
walking you
where
into
you
a trap.
contradict
Oh my
yourself.
God, he just walked you in the trap.
No, like okay,
You just
like I
asked me that
said,
question.
No,
This is
you
the
just said the
contradiction in
opposite.
that
And
statement.
Karis about to get you. So I'm
Well, the contradiction in that statement is like you specifically earlier stated that a man's supposed to come in and take a load off of you to help you in your feminine. The reason why I said nothing, and notice I sat very quiet and I had to really think about it because all of them know, like at one point in time, I said, I want input over money. But Sweden was very specific with the question, and he said, if you had literally nothing financially to worry about, what say so would you have to think about that? And the main thing that we
Right.
talk about being in our feminine is the money. Come and take the load off. So if he already taking care of everything financially, why are you worried about what's going on with the finances when that was the load that you said you had an issue? What you need to say something about it for?
So that's what
No,
that's
I
what I'm
agree,
asking.
but he
Talking
switched
about
it and
where-
said, what if it was the opposite? He switched it. He said, what if you had the financial load? He asked a
No, I
different question.
understood. I'm talking about the initial first part of the question posed to the women, not the reverse of it.
But wait, Paris said worrying about. See, that's different. I don't think you should be worrying about what's happening in the house if you want the man to provide for you. That's a whole nother conversation in my eyes.
Right.
So,
But
all right.
it's
So
good to know what's going on. Like,
I just want
You
to
said
straight up
input, right?
answer. What percentage of input should you, i.e., you want the money to go over here, or he says, what percentage of input do you think you should have over the financial decisions made in the household if you bring in none of the money?
Your conversation, this question is weird because if you have children, let's say you got 5 kids in the house, all right, and the wife says, "Hey, we need this for that for this child and that child." Are you saying, what are you actually saying? Because women are going to say, "Hey, this is what we need." Now, does she does she have the final say to say, "Hey, go swipe your card and buy it right now"? No, because I know as a man, you're the leader to say, "Hey, we could wait right now, maybe next month or something like that." But to say and like, "Hey, this is what the things that we need right now." What are you saying? Like, be specific.
So all I'm asking is a simple question. If he's paying 100% of the bills, what percentage of the financial say should you have in the household? It's that simple.
You're saying it's simple, but again, like Lady Di said,
wait, stop trying to make it complicated. It's I want this much say. I don't want no say.
Damn question. God damn.
Zero.
I want this much say, or I don't want. Or I shouldn't have any say.
I want some say, so I'm gonna say about 30.
I'm messing with you, Pressure. I'm
I already said the leader is going to have the final
You
say.
said input too, right? Sweeney said just input, right?
Listen to this, yo.
That 30?
Okay,
I'm gonna say about 30.
All right, vegan.
Wait, no, I said the leader has the final say, so that means, I don't know.
Final say.
So I think you can have the final
If
say.
there's
So,
not
but
a
you're
number
saying
coming out of your
you-
mouth, stay muted. What is
What's
the number?
What
Please answer
percentage
this
of
question.
say
It's been
should you
10,
have
15
over the
minutes.
household?
A number.
Over the finances.
You don't have a number, stay muted.
But he didn't ask the number first. He asked
I
for
don't ask
percentage.
the number. I said
Stay
what
muted.
percentage? That's a number.
That's a freaking number.
Out of 100%. What
Everything
percentage
cliche.
of the
I told you,
household?
women just be saying stuff.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Let her give a number. Go ahead. What's the percentage?
Number, not number.
I say 20%.
20%.
I heard you the
All right,
first time.
So Paris said none. Penny said 20. Vegan said
Penny said 30.
Vegan said 20. Real Precious, how much did you say?
0.
And
Zero. Lady Di.
Paris says 0.
I don't
Lady
have
Di
an
dropped the
answer.
ball. Lady Di dropped the ball.
I don't have an answer. I don't have a number because I already said the leader. So I don't have I can't say.
Don't worry about it, Lady Di.
Lady Di said, I'm not falling for the trap.
One follow-up question. I got
Look,
one
I'm married.
follow-up
I ain't got no issues. So y'all could go ahead with that.
Here's my follow-up question. Here's my follow-up question.
This is crazy.
For all the ladies, if you're going 50-50 with a man, what percentage of say should he have over your money?
100%.
100% if you're going 50-50.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna say the same amount.
So he should only have 30% say over your money.
Huh? If the roles were flipped?
If you're going 50-50.
50-50? No, I'm gonna say I should have 30%
over your money.
No, I'm gonna say 30% of input from me. He can have the rest.
This is true.
So I say like 70%.
What kind of man?
Here's the thing, in my opinion, y'all asking for percentages, but he didn't have 100% of the financial choice. But reality is, he might be like, babe, what all do we need to take care of this money? There's things. If I'm like, well, babe, I calculated that our children will need school clothes.
That's not what I'm asking.
But I'm saying that's how my version of it is.
One at a time.
Wait. You're trying to make
that's still a version of a percentage. It's not.
No, it's not.
What percentage of say should he have over your money? That means he bring his money. How much say so does he have over your money?
70. I think
70 for Penny.
Yep, I'm gonna say 70. I mean, I could lie and say I wouldn't want any like input, but I'm gonna want an input. Like I just am. I'm gonna want to have an input. I can try my hardest to say I'm not gonna want anything. I can lie and say nothing. I won't say nothing, but I am. I am.
What would you say?
It depends on what it is.
Oh, no, not vegan.
No, I think I would think the same.
Why would you want to even
say the same, Penny? I would say
right, Precious.
I would say that I still would want some percentage. I would say 70. I think that's reasonable because my thing is, you can tell me, well, babe, this is what I think we should do for it, but I should be able to have some say over my own money, just like they should. But my thing is communication about what it's over. I might say, well, I'm going to go buy these shoes. Babe, you think that make financial sense right now when you know we got to get this big investment? No, babe, it don't. That's still a percentage of say. It may not be a financial percentage, but it's a financial decision percentage. It's not a number because it's not like he's about to give me 50% of what I'm talking about in the nominal.
So you're saying for your income, he would have 70% say over where your money goes, and you only have 30% say over where your money goes.
And we together, right? We're living like together.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
right. We're a unit.
I don't have a problem with it because now let me ask you a question.
I honestly chose to be with him, so I should be willing to trust him with my money, right?
That's the
hold on, wait. All right, so here's the
actually
thing.
Not your money. It's not your money when y'all are together.
All right, so
okay. Well, either way, I should be able to trust him with the financial decisions, right?
Yes, your job is to give the control to him, and if he can't manage everything, you get rid of him. And I don't know if Sweeney is getting to this, but your number one job as a woman, at some point before y'all get married, give him full control over everything to see if he runs everything into a ditch or if he actually is able to do something with all of the control. Because until you give him all the control, you don't know what type of man you have. So too many of you spend all this time trying to hold on to control, and you don't know what type of man you have. Now you with him for 2 years, and as an example, with Egan, he loses his job,
cooking,
and now you like, what the hell type of man am I with? Now y'all got a baby 3 years later.
But if you know what kind of man you have before you start even.
No, he just said it. Not if you don't give him control. Let go cook. Let him cook.
If you give a man control in the beginning, you'll easily be able to tell what type of man you got and where he's going to take you. But y'all ass don't want to give up control because y'all been taught by y'all goofball ass mamas to not let no man run you. And then you get with a man, and what the hell you want with him if he can't run you? Shit don't make no damn sense.
Okay, let go. Okay, let go.
Hold on, y'all. So while what Mr. Let Go said was absolutely true, where I was going with that is a totally different direction. Because I'm gonna be real with you, I don't believe any of the ladies on this panel.
Facts. I don't believe them either.
Here's the reality, and this is what I've noticed about a lot of women in the conversation that I had. I'm just glad I got to ask y'all this question. I've asked that question several times to most women, And most women would say they want some form of control over the finances, even if he puts 100% of the money up. However, when asked about how much he can control her money, it's always either a percentage of it or very little of it, or she feels that he has no say over her money. And here's the problem that I have with that. How can you demand to have say so in a household where you don't bring anything in, but immediately tell somebody within that same relationship that they cannot tell you what to do with your money, even though you want the same, even though if you were to go into a different relationship where you aren't providing 100%, you want say so. A lot of women want to have. You said what?
You didn't believe my answer?
No, you said you. I believe your answer. I don't believe.
You know what he meant. In all Paris, in all Precious and Paris, we let her. I'm just let it die.
I said what I said.
What happened with Lady Di?
I don't know what happened. I think Lady Di was confused
I don't know
from
what
Jump
happened with
Street.
her.
Well, I mean,
Lady Di, you was talking about colors of couches and stuff, and the man, hey, my man, if you want blue, it's blue. Now you like money?
Not the color.
I want 30%. Like, lady, that what's going on? 100%.
Crazy.
If he wants a brown couch.
Yeah, one at a time. One at a time.
Lady Guy was gone for about 3 weeks, so I don't know what went on with Lady Di.
What happened? Something happened.
You guys tripping. I said what I said. If you married, it's
it
y'all
was the aliens.
All right, that's all I'm saying. It's y'all money. It's 100, period. It's
Lady
y'all
Di,
money.
were you
married.
abducted by aliens and you came back as a different person? Just a question.
No.
So this is why
Sweeney, I can't make you believe me, so I don't know what to
I said what I said because I've seen it work. My dad at one point in time, he wasn't working at all, and my mom was the primary financial provider. She used to leave him her debit card. He had access to all her money, and it was just like this unknown thing. Like whatever the kids need, whatever the house needs, go ahead and go get it. So that's why it's kind of like for me, I've seen it work. Like, why would you be with a man where you don't trust him? You don't trust his authority. You don't trust his leadership. Like, even when it comes to money, that's one of the top reasons why people break up. People don't want to talk about money. People don't want to touch money. People don't want to merge money together. And if you can't have that uncomfortable conversation, you're not going to make it.
Facts.
So, and the thing is that, and I noticed this in the comment section as well.
All right, we got a transition. But go ahead, Sweeney.
A lot of women are saying that, oh, well, I know wealthy men that give women all total access to their money. That may be true, but I guarantee you, those very same women, a lot of the times, women don't want to give men access to their money, and that's the problem that I'm noticing, that when it comes to women dating today, is that they want an unfair situation. They want situations where they have control, but they don't want to relinquish control.
Yes.
And that was my ultimate point.
To give a viewpoint, there was a little video that went viral for a second of a woman whose husband was taking care of everything, and they had a joint account, and he had found out that she had like $20,000 in her own account on a different account, and he's like, so why is there $20,000 withdrawn? And she said, well, if you ever leave me, I need to have something. He's like, well, I'm taking care of everything. Why is it that you need to have $20,000? She said, because I don't know if we're going to ever get a divorce. So she was stealing money from their joint account when he was taking care of everything, because she was trying to make sure that she had an off taken care of in the off section. And I'm like, what type of, you planning for a divorce? Are you cheating? Because if he's taking care of everything, why are you sneaking money out and hiding it for yourself in case? She said it was like a nest egg or something in case anything ever happened, because he was taking care of everything for like the last 10 years. But I just felt like that was really weird, because if he's taking care of everything and y'all got a good relationship, why would you be taking money? It wasn't necessarily stealing because it was her percentage of money, but the fact that she was taking it and putting it like that looked a little scandalous if she was a wife that was getting taken care of. It was just a weird, to your point of what you were saying about women wanting to take the money and hide it in a sense, but it was crazy. I don't know. It was a viral clip.
We got to transition, y'all. Get to these super chats real quick. Hink in the basement says, I'm here to show love and support my brother Jay on the network. Thank you, Hink. Andre Dale, $2. Hashtag real precious. Talk your talk, lady. The AP accountability partner says Trev 100. I'm still in that. Hashtag pull a coat. into the Black Dragon analysis, problem we face as men is that no woman is bringing more than her mom or GM, while modern men are bringing more to the table than ever. We are expected to provide a day. Oh, wow. Women submit when feel like it. Honey Boy Blaze 499 says a lot of traditional men used to bring home their check to the women. She paid everything and gave him allowance for the week. He in the basement again says shout out to the chicks who topping off at the door. Always Hank. Marcus Evans $5 says I didn't know it was this too hard to ask the damn question. This is so goofy, bro. And Scarlett with the $50 ball says financial should be the hurdle to keep women in the femininity. The provider role encompasses much more than just financial. I challenge the woman to name the other provider duties. Get rid of these two. Pookie999 says women feel like they shouldn't have to adhere to the traditional roles in marriage, but still reap all the benefits. It is like me demanding all the benefits of employment without working. Underground Zone $5 says I'm curious on how the most educated people on the planet are confused on a simple question involving percentages. How did y'all pass the final exam? Not for the BS. $102. This lady, that is a scroll. Hank in the basement says one pot. That's always what Hank says. Queen Sheba says Ali can work his way up. The AP, the accountability partner, says Sweeney, I rock with you, bro, but dang, your plane takes so long to land sometimes. Come on, Captain Phillips.
Man, they couldn't answer the damn question. They just kept bouncing around.
Be good, Sweeney.
Hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the sponsor, T Channel again. Uncomplicated skincare for men. 30% off along with a free gift. Click that link in the description. Let's go ahead and move on to our next topic. We're gonna get into this Joe Budden topic. Joe Budden's co-host calls him out for saying he wouldn't entertain his friends' exes. Did you guys entertain your exes, brothers?
No.
Your friends' exes? No.
You mean your friends' exes? No.
Yeah. Nah. All right, let me go ahead and play this clip, and then we'll go ahead and talk about it. I do want to get to some of the quiet folks. Penny, Ali, Lady Di.
Me, I ain't said nothing.
Oh, yeah, Lego never says anything. Shut up.
You're the quietest one, Lego.
Shut up. All right, here we go, y'all.
Joe said I would never do X, Y, and Z. I started laughing. It was on the podcast.
Yep, I remember.
I started laughing. So Joe like, what's so funny? Ha ha. I'm saying, yo, you would do that. He said, no, I wouldn't. I said, yes, you would. You had my ex in your fucking house filling up with hookah.
That means I was trying to fuck it.
But no, you said I wouldn't entertain a nigga ex. Joe's comment, you not moving the goalpost today. We're not going to get into a screaming match.
And you
screaming. All we're here.
You Joe moving it and you screaming.
I don't even talk to the girl, my man's exes. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
That's a fact. Yes.
Am I wrong?
That's a fact. That is what you said. I'm saying it.
And I'm saying you lying because you have talked to my exes before. I didn't say I gave a fuck. I was pointing out that you did it. That you were in your house with my ex-bitch of 9 years smoking hookah. This is a very simple concept.
And you did care because you brought up man years later. You don't speak to her, I don't speak to her. You brought it up. You cared.
You are wrong.
That nigga cared.
You are mad wrong, number one.
The nigga cared and he was damn near accusing me of something, implying some shit.
You told me I fucked your bitch. That's when that came out, nigga. Joe said he won't hold the conversation with our bitches. Am I wrong, Ice?
He said it.
Am I wrong, Ice? So when you open the fucking door and you light up a hookah, you are having a conversation with a bitch.
Greatest people I know.
Bruh,
Don't start losing context now. I have regular. I'm not. You just need to keep up. I have conversations with all of y'all old bitches still to this day. That's not what the fuck we were saying.
That wasn't.
I would not be having a conversation trying to pop your old bitch. Nor would I dignify she was trying to pop. You talk about a fucking hookah with your sensitive ass. Shut your fucking ass.
Far from sensitive, nigga. I don't give a fuck about these bitches.
You asked me 10 years later, nigga. Shut the fuck up.
Like you did with your bitch.
Hold on. There was a lot going on. I will say this. Joe Budden is capping. You fire up the hookah with a lady, man. You know what time it is. He was on demon time. He lying his ass off. Talking about some I wasn't trying to do nothing. Bullshit. So he lied about that.
Well, from my understanding, she wasn't the only person there. It was other people there. It was just the fun of his ex being in the place. From what I got from it, basically it was like multiple people around. It wasn't just like him and her by themselves on something.
But was this like a business like setting, or was this a interpersonal? We kicking it, vibing, drinking, smoking.
Joe was cultivating an environment. I think it was like a little small section of people like just randomly got together. And from what I understand, Joe like bought those things to help the women be entertained. She wasn't the only woman there though.
Well,
so quiet people going talk or what?
I mean, judging by the way he was responding, you sure there was more people there? It's like he was holding on to that for a minute.
and Joe Budden didn't say there was other people there. I think it just it's disingenuous, my favorite word. And I think that a lot of people have relationships like that where they have messy relationships where people are entertaining people's exes and would date somebody exes. I think majority of this society moves messy like that. And the fact that he couldn't just be honest about that and accountable for it says a lot. But the brother says a lot to me too. If you think he did that, why did you still stay in contact with him? Why did you still take the opportunity to possibly, have different endeavors or whatever at access to
They
Joe
stopped
Budden?
talking for like 5 years, just so you know.
I don't think the argument of emotions.
Joe.
I don't think the argument of emotions was about the woman per se, more so than the fact that he's like, bro, you're lying, but he's getting more upset that he's sitting there capping on the show more so than it was about the woman. I don't think that's what it was.
I would have never brung it. It seemed like he shouldn't even brung it up because
I think that might have just been a topic. I think they was just asking that general question, and then Joe Budden had an opinion on it, and he was like, bro, you full of shit. And then Joe Budden was like, how am I full of shit? He was like, bro, you was just with my chick just a while ago.
But Sweeney, in front of people, I should have had that same energy when I found out that you have my ex in your house, right?
That's not what he
probably did. He probably did.
I don't think that's what he was upset about. I think what he was upset about was the fact that he was sitting on the show lying about it. I think that's what he got heated in the conversation, but it wasn't necessarily about the woman. It was about the fact that he's on this show lying to everybody in front of him. He's like, bro, I know you lying. And Joe's trying to backtrack. That's what we see that in general conversation about sports.
I just want to ask a question. Because I may be wrong. Do y'all think this is really a different way of interpreting the word entertaining? Maybe Joe is saying I wouldn't entertain the thought,
yes,
or the direction of smashing your girl, and Ish is saying I wouldn't entertain your girl, entertain the thought of even talking to her. So
yes, because Joe actually said that.
Huh?
Joe actually said that. Joe, that's why he was like, you trying to get mad at me about context. Like, what I mean is I would never smash one of your girls. Right. Like you're talking about, talk to her, have a conversation. I'm a social person. I talk to thousands of people all the time.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I talk to her? She hasn't done anything to me. But you're talking about sleeping with her. I wouldn't do that. That's what Joe was saying.
I think, but
one of my homeboys' exes wanted to talk to me about whatever. I'll talk to him, but I'm not finna try to smash him because now she's like sis to me. She could be around me. She ain't finna be in my house, but if you got a kind of house where everybody comes over, yeah, you'll be in my house. But all together, you like sis in my mind now. I wouldn't entertain the thought of smashing you, but you can be around me because you sis. And I don't know if that's right or wrong.
Joe just didn't take accountability. He just didn't take accountability. That's all. That's it, and that's all. If you said that you would never entertain, that means you're not going to be around, you're not going to talk to, you're not going to smash, you're not going to do any of that. You're just not going to do it.
Right. Can I ask the women on the panel, if your best friend or a close friend had your ex that you cared about at your house, would you be cool with in any capacity? Are you cool with that? Smoking hookah? Come on, y'all. Why y'all know that whatever?
No, I don't think I would be cool with that because depending if we all met like years and years and years, and at this point, like we went to college, whatever, we done grew up, and y'all basically grew up like as brother and sister, it might be a different thing. But reality is, if you know that person hurt me or whatever, why are y'all sitting there doing hookah together? Like, what type of, you know what I mean? I might get a little concerned, especially if you just start denying it and making it look like something. Now, if you're like, yeah, he came over venting and whatever, okay, but what's the mentality? Because on the opposite side, female, you know, people can be a little, they can have little ulterior motives. You don't know who you know, unless you know your real friends. Some people are snakes, so you don't know why they got your ex coming over there. It might be something they trying to do. You don't know. Like,
and just for the record, in this conversation, Ish said, no, Joe said Ish smashed his ex.
But that's
so
what I'm saying. That's why I think
some type of
That's a toxic friendship.
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
all right, y'all. Like, I do want to get like Penny in there. You know, let me get Trav, Lady down. Let me get some other folks in there. Go ahead, Penny. What are your thoughts about it?
I just think they have a toxic relationship. It seems like they both messing around with each other, girls behind their back, one do something. The loyalty between them two is kind of confusing, which can be with a lot of men. They hang around a lot of men where the loyalty between the two is confusing. And so I think if he did say he wouldn't entertain any of his exes in any capacity, then he shouldn't be entertaining them at all. But that relationship that they have is toxic, just like, you know, like a hood couple relationship.
Yeah, they were smashing chicks together and buying prostitutes together for
and he
years.
said he don't care, but he sound like he care.
Yeah.
He had his feelings about it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Trev. Hop in there.
Yeah, so I feel like they're having a serious issue with their boundaries, right? It seems like there's a lot of blurry lines. There are some homeboys that hang together and, you know, smash chicks together and everything else. But you're supposed to know anybody who's the main, that's something that's supposed to be off limits. Me personally, I wouldn't even mess with a side chick of one of my homeboys because, I mean, for one, you got a scarcity mindset if you feel like you need to do that in the first place. Y'all like celebrities, like for real. Like, what's the purpose of you feeling like you have to smash every single chick that's around you? And ain't nobody gonna play games about this. The dude, you in the house, smoke a hookah. That's a vibe. Come on now. You already know what the business is. What you over there for? Come on, that doesn't make any sense for somebody to try to downplay it and saying that's not what it is. That is what it is. But what I'll say is this. People get their feelings hurt sometimes. I think somebody violated at one point, and then the other friend is just like, you know what? Oh, that's how we coming. All right, I guess that's the dynamic of our relationship. So I'm going to go ahead and do it too. It's immature. I mean, but they probably have mutual needs for each other, right? So, you know, they working together. They found out they could get money more and it's more beneficial. So they try to put that over it, but they're never really going to get past none of this messiness that they're doing. And it's always going to be some type of grudge there because that's just the type of relationship they have. They're not going to ever be able to heal from that because it's a form of betrayal. When somebody's doing something behind your back, it's not like they told each other, like, oh, listen, homegirl says she wanted to come through. What you think about it? Even I think that's corny, but still, you to just do that. Y'all both are keeping it from me. It's like, damn, y'all both think this is okay. What you got, Sweeney? You got your hand up real hard.
I was going to say that, Trev. I think.
Wait. So I just went and watched the beginning of the video, right? And basically, my point. It was my point. It was actually what I thought happened. They were having a conversation about smashing an ex or whatever, and Ish said, "Hey, look, if you know what I mean, I don't care if she's an ex of mine, ex-girlfriend, somebody I used to deal with. If she wants to give you the box, that's her box to give." Joe Budden tried to call him out, and then Joe Budden was like, "Well, why would you ask me about dealing with your ex?" And then he responded, "Because you made the statement that you would never entertain an ex. So I was calling you out on your BS." That was the conversation. He was
but is entertain a different word to each dude though?
No, that's not the point. The point was that he tried to call out Ish by saying, "Well, why was you questioning me?" And Ish said, "I called you out because you said you would never do something like that." And basically what Ish is saying is whether they believe either way what entertaining actually means, Ish believes that he was entertaining her for a sexual, regardless of what fucking Joe Budden has to say about it. So that was the whole point. He got heated because he was calling Joe Budden a liar. You saying that nigga was capping that he would never do
And he
it.
was with the girl for 9 years, just so y'all know. So that's even
Yeah,
worse.
that's a violation. It's a violation.
So you're saying he really didn't care more so, but it's the fact that you lied to me is the issue?
That was his ego.
No, he wasn't saying.
His ego say he didn't care.
No, he said no. The original conversation started off with him saying, "I don't care that my ex slashed somebody." Joe Budden tried to call him out and say, "Yes, you do, because you questioned me on it." And he said, "No, the only reason why I called you out on it was because you said you would never do it, so I called you out on it."
But Sweeney, I don't think he would have had that energy if he didn't feel a type of way about the actual incident in the first place. Because he would have just let him lie. How many times you just let your homie lie?
No,
the reason why he didn't let him lie is because he had to feel a way about it. I guarantee you he felt a way about it because he would have let it rock. They watch each other lie all day. That's how they get down. They watch each other lie all day. That came out. He brought that up because he felt a way about it. I promise you he felt a way about it.
All day. We've seen them get loud and aggressive with each other on many different topics. I've seen men get loud and aggressive over sports. That doesn't mean that he felt.
Yeah, we do that.
So that's what I'm thinking happened is that he got loud and aggressive because of the conversation of him like, nigga, you lying, and you saying that, oh, I would never do when you try. That's what the whole thing was like.
I saw the clip, and I think the reason why I do believe that he still had an issue with it is because he used that one isolated scenario to make Joe the point of contention in the whole entire thing. Like you use that as a way of attacking Joe and zoning in on it, and that basically overtook the entire conversation.
That's because Joe brought it up.
No.
Joe brought it up.
I just went and watched it too. Ish. Okay, so he wasn't even hurt by it. Joe Budden tried to make him look bad. Joe Budden tried to make Ish look bad and say, "Oh, well, hey, don't make me throw the bazooka." Joe Budden should have never even spoke up about it. He said, "Don't make me throw the bazooka." He said, "Throw the bazooka." What bazooka? Well, you cared about the fact the old girl was in my house. He said, "No, you told me that you would never have an ex at your house." Joe Budden did that. Joe Budden violated just then. Joe Budden
he did.
Joe Budden tried to throw Ish under the bus.
He tried to throw him under the bus. He tried to make his friend look bad.
And that's what
Joe Budden dropped.
And I think that's where he got angry at. It's the fact that you was over here trying to do that. Yeah, I got angry too.
He didn't bring it up. Joe Budden brought it up.
I want to say this. Me and two of my homeboys, we all married our girlfriends back in the day. And we was messing with chicks before we got with our wives back then, right? And our chicks would go to one of us when we messed up, we cheated or whatever, right? And we would kind of like just have a conversation with them. And it never was a feeling of you better not smash my girl or my ex or whatever. We would not be around our chicks or exes or whatever, but it just never was a thought that my best friend would smash.
Why you be making up these stories
okay.
to tell us?
Huh?
Why you be making up these stories to come tell us?
You know he full of shit.
What do you mean? I'm just saying, like we all married.
You made it up. We heard you do it. We heard you.
We all married our girls, and our women were so close to each other where if they had a problem, they could literally go over to other person's house and talk about it and be like, if Aaron don't get his shit together, I'm done. And it'll be situations like that. That happens so many times with each one of our girls or whatever, and it just was never a thought, you better not smash my girl or my ex. And it may just be me, so I'm just sitting back.
But
it's supposed to be an unspoken rule.
That's not something you can have a casual, like you don't have a casual conversation about dealing with. Like nobody brings that up in casual conversation, Mr. Let Go. It's just
brings what up?
Trev, who's talking
you better not mess with my ex. Like,
I'm just saying, so they may just have different rules, or somebody must have violated. Because, like I said, I think I heard somebody actually smash one of their exes, whether it's Joe or Ish, but they may have a different.
According to Ish, he did actually deal with one of her exes, but Ish doesn't have the moral compass of I will never smash one of my homeboys' exes. It wasn't until Joe Budden tried to call him out and say, "Oh, you don't have that problem." Well, where was this? What about that time when I was with your ex?
But if Ish did it, why is he mad at Joe for
Ish
not?
Let go. You're not listening. Okay, listen real quick. Okay, listen. Chain of events. Are you listening?
Yeah.
They were Ish was just saying what was Sweetie, what was the first part that he
Basically
said?
saying, hey, look,
That means you weren't listening, Ali.
I was listening, but you be messing my head up sometimes.
Basically, Ish was saying, hey, look, I don't care if she's an ex of mine or whatever. If she has sex with you, if she wants to give you that box, that's whether you my friend or not, that's her box to give. Right. Joe Budden tried to call him out and say, no, that ain't true, because you know what I mean? Because didn't you get mad at me about why would you question me?
Hold on, Sweet, say the first part. Lego, he said, don't let me drop a bazooka. He said, what bazooka? He said, don't make me drop this bazooka. What bazooka, man? Drop the bazooka. He's like, well, you was mad about weren't you mad about the fact that I had your ex at my house? And then it started like that.
That's what he was saying. Like, no, the only reason why I brought it up to you was because you said that you would never do it. So I'm calling out your integrity, but you just tried to call me out on my integrity by bringing up something that I don't really care about. But
what if
apparently
entertain?
So I called you out on it.
What if the word entertain means I'm not going to entertain the thought of sleeping with your girl, but I would entertain your girl when we have a party over my house? Is a different way of looking at entertaining, possibly. I don't know.
I will say this. I think they're close enough that Ish probably definitely knew that by entertain he was trying to either
he didn't care.
He didn't make it difficult for her to, if it was to happen, it was gonna happen.
Because sometimes somebody has the homie house and everybody be over the homie house. You know what I'm saying?
No, he didn't care. Let go. He didn't care. He didn't care. He just said the fact that he was entertaining her. He lied about that. He said he wouldn't. Joe Budden said he would never entertain his boys' exes either, but he had lied about it. That was the main thing. He lied about it. His ex was at her house, and then he went, "Oh, I thought you didn't care about it. Why you in your feelings?" Like he wasn't even being sympathetic as a friend about it.
And he gaslighted. He gaslighted Ish there.
He kept gaslighting Ish. He kept gaslighting. He wasn't being a friend. So it says a lot about him. But if they still remain friends, it says a lot about Ish too. So our relationship done. Once you cross certain lines with me, our relationship is done.
That's the thing, though. I don't think that's why I'm saying I don't think Ish cares about him dealing with his ex. The problem was that he was lying on the show.
Right.
And that's what he was calling him out on. He tried to call me out.
And to me, that's weird too. You more mad about the lying than you are about the actual event. Like that's weird to me.
Well, because that's probably
together. I think if you buying prostitutes with your homeboy and sharing prostitutes, I think y'all both are kind of like grimy or something like that, because y'all sharing prostitutes. Y'all, hey, he would buy a prostitute and share the prostitute with Ish. That's a little grimy.
So Mr. Lego, you keep all the prostitutes to yourself?
Yeah, it's my prostitute. I'm not sharing my prostitute. Get your damn prostitute.
Lying his ass off.
Trev, he tried to
prostitute. I'm not sharing my prostitute.
No, I dig it. I see what happened. I see what happened.
You see how I'm acting right now?
We boys, we friends, and I said, "Nigga, stop lying." He was mad because I had no girl in my house.
Personal feelings.
I dig that part.
This because this
I had 3 chicks and didn't want to share neither one of them. So I'm just that type of person. I don't want to share none of them.
You stingy, man. You stingy.
Again.
You know, fun if the homies can't have none.
Mr. Lego again, beating his chest.
I'm not sharing my prostitute. I'm not sharing my girlfriend. I'm not sharing my side chicks. I'm not sharing
You just said you and your boys talk to y'all girls when y'all needed somebody to talk to.
But we're not smashing them though.
That's weird though. I don't even believe that. Man, I don't even believe that.
I'm not talking with them. I'm not
I've never heard of this before.
You can't. My whole thing is you can't sleep with anybody that I don't mess with. I don't care if I did. They doing the prostitute thing. I don't care if I did damn. You leave her alone too.
So wait, you get mad if somebody sleep with the same prostitute you had after the fact?
He just patronizing her job.
No,
bro.
You send her
That's your man's up there.
No, my prostitute. You leave my prostitute.
Yo, you can't be cuffing a prostitute, bro.
Hold on. I think she got a question for Lego. Go ahead.
What happened?
You got a question for Lego?
I was saying the way he was saying that's my prostitute now. Like hypothetically, I'm saying you're patronizing her. He don't get to patronize her too. Like it's her business. You out here holding on to something that ain't even yours. You know she got to do.
No, I'm just saying if I order a prostitute, this is Joe Budden stuff, not me. We're just talking. If I order a prostitute, that's my prostitute. If you want her, you order her on your own dime. You're not sharing my prostitute because you own my house.
What if he put 20 up? He put 20 up.
If you want her too, you got to pay for her too and order her. You ain't finna share.
Lego, you admitting you pay for use pussy, like literally.
No,
like,
I said, I literally just said that's their situation.
No, you pay for. No, you don't. You
I
pay
didn't
for
say
use
that.
booty.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You said that's.
He's saying based on Joe Budden scenario.
He didn't say that. He said he paid for 3 prostitutes.
The way I roll, I don't share women at all. I don't share side chicks.
You don't share buffets.
Nothing.
You don't share buffets, right?
What you don't say?
I don't share chicks.
Man, bro, I don't believe nothing he said when he said you don't share.
Y'all listen to what he's saying, man.
Get the whole hell
You
out
never
of here.
want to use it. Listen, Joe Budden might have a scenario. They might have had a situation. You know, some swingers like they share. They have. So he might have been in that situation where I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Joe Budden and they might have an agreement of to an extent. But if it's their wives or their woman that they had long term, they might have a different boundary for that. But they might go out and regularly smash random women together. But if it's a woman that they care about, then that might be where they draw the line.
Don't entertain this foolishness.
I had 3 girls.
Hold on, we got to transition.
Neither one of them because I was in love with all 3 of them, and we held hands and walked through them all.
Okay, there you go, y'all. We got to transition, y'all. We got to transition, y'all. Guys,
I loved all 3 of them.
Welcome to Lapeef. Let's talk. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Super chats, original, everything else. Carbon copy, $2 combo of folks on the show. Going to be a good show. Trigger Mike. Joe Budden is from Jersey City. He's been grimy.
Hey, take it easy with the Jersey talk, man. Not everybody from Jersey is messed up, bro.
Arnold Allen $5 says, take a shot every time someone says, can I ask a question? I'm smacked. Sponsored by Wild Turkey 101.
Hey, I'm with that. Hey, look, I play, man. If I wasn't on the channel, I'm doing that.
Accountability partners. $5 says, let go. We'll change the tires, get a hookah, then eat her ass.
Straight up.
You grimy.
Straight up.
The man 199 says, guys, who do that have limited options? Blackest Panther $10 says, a dude that smashes your ex was waiting for you to break up to slide in, aka a snake. You should never have eyes on your homies' girls, past or present. You never let a girl threaten the brotherhood.
Facts.
And lastly, Black Panther $10 says, if your boys can exercise sexual discipline around women you were involved with, that's a problem. Men like that will sell you out or skip out on you for a box. Your boys matter more than a little fun.
Exactly. I'm not doing that.
Blackest Panther on the shit.
I ain't smashing your chicks, and you don't smash my chicks, even if it was prostitute. Leave her alone.
All right, up on this next topic, we're gonna swing it to Paradise, Lady Di, then Precious. Let's go ahead and get a crack at that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Moving on to our next topic of the night, which is if a man starts giving you big gifts after the first date, it's a red flag in the beginning of love bombing.
Real cute. And the next day, he sent me like a full spa care package. For what?
Like what?
I ain't gonna hold y'all. A spa care package. I'm talking about like facials, deep stone massage, everything after one date. That right there is a red flag to me now. Like when people start giving you big packages and big presents like so early on, that's a red flag. That's the beginning of love bombing.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And y'all watch your mouth. That's my homegirl.
All right, Paradise. Go ahead and dive into it. If a man starts giving you big gifts after the first date, it's a red flag in the beginning of love bombing.
No, women need to have more discernment. You can't say you will accept money from him, but you draw the lines and gifts at a person paying attention to you, cultivating an experience for you, showing you the dynamic of what it would be like to lead him. I just sent a video where a woman said on the first date, she's expected to pay for everything, including her Uber. just in case he has to be able to show her he can afford those things for later on down the line. It's the same dynamic. He's essentially showing you like, hey, this is what it looks like to be with me. This is what I care about you. I think the issue is a lot of women have never really been treated authentically nice by men. And so they don't understand the dynamic of actual courtship. Like, I'm dating you, so I treat you this way. Instead, they get the experience of, well, we're going to take it slow and we're going to drag our feet and we're just going to go through the motions. And then they start having to prove themselves in order to get gifts and reciprocity from a man, as opposed to just receiving it immediately. It's not a red flag. You need to increase your discernment.
Go ahead, Lady Di.
Yeah, I don't think it's a red flag either. There are different types of men. There are men who will flash money around just to say they can do that and just to get you. But then there are some men who are actually genuine with their gift giving. So if they give you a generous gift, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Just like you would want him to pay for this expensive ass dinner, which probably costs the same amount as your spa anyway. I don't see the difference. It's just that you're not sitting with him. You're just enjoying it by yourself. So I wouldn't look at that video and just say, well, all men are like that, because that's what's going to happen. You know, people watching that say, oh, well, if he bought me this, then yeah, it's a red. No, it's not. There are men out here really trying hard to impress y'all, since y'all want all this damn money from men in the first place. So if a man gives you something like that, that's nice. And a spa gift is not even that big of a deal. If we talking about buying a car or something in that caliber, then sure. But a spa is not. Okay, so what? You get a massage. Cool. You appreciate him for doing that. You know, appreciate him for taking the time to think about relaxing you, since you're always, some women are distressed all the time. I don't see nothing wrong with that type of gift. I think that's an actual generous gift. How you proceed with the next dates, how you make sure that you have conversations with these men. You're not just taking gifts, taking things, and then, you know, expecting these men to be the person you want. You got to have genuine conversations with people. Gifts, money doesn't really determine anything. What determines if you should be with him is what you guys speak about. If you're looking for a family man or a God-fearing man, make sure you have conversations that are going to line up in that direction. It's not going to take one time. It's not going to take two times. It's going to take plenty of dates to talk. So walk in the park, talk in the park, go. I don't think you should be spending money, but if you do, make sure you have these conversations. Money is not going to change nothing.
All right, Precious.
The average man is not going to give you some elaborate gift after the first time you go out. I don't think the average man is going to do that. As far as love bombing, is that like a millennial word? Is that like a new age word, love bombing? Because on one hand, women say, oh, well, we want men to buy us things and do this, you know, spend money on us. And then on the other hand, it's like, nobody's love bombing. You know, it's like, well, which one do you want? You know, I don't think the average man is buying no elaborate gifts. I think a spa date or a spa package or whatever, I don't think that's an elaborate gift, honestly. I mean, I feel like an elaborate gift is someone putting a car in your garage the next day or something. I think, you know, a spa date is like $100. But I don't know. The love bombing up front, I think if a guy truly likes you, you do have to have discernment. You can't think that attention from any and every guy is what's going to fuel your confidence as a woman. You have to know yourself as a woman, and you have to know that when you're giving your attention, what that attention may get you in return. And I think if a guy is just giving you gifts and giving you gifts and giving you gifts because he wants to win you over, that's not necessarily the man that you want to be with, because he's always going to have to feel like he's happy, that he has to give you something to keep you happy. So, you know, as far as love bombing, I don't know how to feel about that word, but I do believe that you do have to have discernment in the people that you date, but more so in yourself, because we talked about gold digging in the first topic, and a woman who is not going to say that she's a gold digger, but will receive all of these gifts from a man, knowing that he has no real place in her life, then that's when it can be dangerous. But I think if a man is truly into you and he's feeling you, then he will give you gifts, or he will spend time with you, or he will spend certain type of money on you. But I don't think the average guy is just giving these elaborate gifts after the first date. I feel like that's a movie like type of scenario.
All right, let me go ahead and get Vegan Chef Bay in there.
So I won't say it's immediately like you said, the spa day thing. I don't think that's considered like a love bombing thing. From what I gather about love bombing is when somebody is trying to basically give you whatever it is they think you want up front, so that they can kind of oversaturate your mind with the idea of they are who you want them to be. So I vent to you and I say, oh my God, my ex was like this, that, and the third. And you choose to be literally the antithesis of him in terms of what you're showing me in the beginning. And then once I get to know you, you might be very similar. So some people present, whatever it is that they need to in the beginning to win you over, which we all put our best foot forward, yada, yada. But if you're like, let me buy you something. I had a guy when I was 18, he was just buying me stuff. He's like, I got to buy you something. I got to buy you something. And I'm like, but I don't need anything. Let's just, hang out. But he always had to buy me something, and I didn't understand it. At the time, I wasn't even having sex. So I really didn't I thought he was trying to like get me to have sex with him. And then at some point, long story short, when we broke up, well, we didn't break up. He had to go back. He was like on traveling, like on base. So he left, and I got an email a year later from some girl, and she was like, that teddy bear he gave you that wouldn't fit in my suitcase, so that was for me on Valentine's Day. Like, she knew about some things that I own. So I feel like some people do love bomb you in a sense, but I feel like you said, you guys, with the discernment, like you really have to know what you're wanting, because if you're going to allow somebody to woo you with gifts, then are you a gold? You know what I mean? Like, are you allowing that to be some type of thing versus getting to know who they are as a person, like in depth, versus allowing the gifts to be your automatic, oh, he must like me a lot because he's buying me these gifts. Who is he? You know what I mean? Take time to get to know who he really is before making a rash decision to be with him based on the fact that he's gifting you with things.
I think this type of situation brings up the fact that, for one, women don't know what they want. We make a lot of contradictions because we'll say, well, he needs to go ahead and come in and lead. He needs to show me. He needs to prove it. He needs to go ahead and, already extending out, but you're doing it on your own terms. And the other thing that I think that this brings up the topic of, women really don't know how to identify a good man. They know how to identify what they feel good. They don't necessarily know how to identify a good man, because I have a friend and he dates all his women very organic. Like, everybody gets a wonderful experience with him. You're not going to leave him and say, oh, he was a shitty guy, but you're getting this, I'm a good man. That don't mean that I'm for you. That don't mean that we should be together. And a lot of women are not having that experience. So when a guy is doing things and going out of his way, they're looking like, what he doing that for? I ain't asking for that. He don't need to do that for me. Or I can do he not think I can take care of myself? There's this drawback because you're actually afraid. You're not sure how to take that because you've never had it. I would never deal with a man and act like, for one, he can't show me something new or make me experience something different, or two, that I ain't never been nowhere before. And women who have a drawback about this type of thing, that's how they act. They act like they ain't never had nothing before, and they act very unimpressed, like a man can't teach them anything or expose them to new things.
Here's the thing, and I'm just going to answer the question. Every man love bombs, and every woman wants a love bomber, and actually requires a love bomber. The very nature of how men and women interact on the date when dating is love bombing. Love bombing is an attempt to influence a person by demonstrations of attention and affection. Ain't that what men do? We want to get you to like us, so we buy you stuff. We take you out. We take you on a nice dinner. We may buy you a nice meal or a nice. We buy you clothes or a bag or something like that to elicit a reaction out of you, to get you to like us more. Every man love bombs. To what degree? It is neither here nor there. Some dudes can love bomb in a way where they can all they have to do is give a nice dinner at Applebee's. Some men love bomb by taking you on a trip to an island. However, every woman wants a man that love bombs. And a matter of fact, even when they talk about it, they said it can be used in different ways for either positive or negative purposes. Psychologists have identified love bombing as a possible part of a cycle of abuse. That doesn't mean definite. That doesn't mean no love bombing is necessarily a negative thing. It just means that it can be manipulative. But is it manipulative? No. In nature, we automatically love bomb and women automatically accept it. That's been the way we interacted with one another since the beginning of time. I show you affection to get you to like me. So this lady is absolutely nuts because I wonder, and this is why I said she full of shit, is because I guarantee you he probably paid more for the date that they went on the first date than he did on that damn basket. Matter of fact, he was probably more disingenuous with the date than he was with the basket. He probably actually liked you and was like, she just talked about yesterday that she wants to, that she need a pedicure. So he went out and was like, hey, look, here's a pedicure set.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to be smart.
Maybe some random, like that. So she probably said it and he just acted on it. I don't understand. What's the problem? Like,
missing out on good dudes acting crazy.
It ties into what Paris said. A lot of women don't actually know how to identify a good man. So they try to find pockets and reasons to disqualify men. Oh, we just learned this new term, love bombing. So if he provides you too much, that must mean he's love bombing you. Because you don't know how to identify a good man. You don't know how to identify genuine actions when you see him. Because you don't know what a good man is. That's your problem. It has nothing to do with his actions. Because a good man is going to be a good man, and a good man and a bad man may do the exact same thing. It's your job to find out the intent behind it. Stop lying to people, telling them all this, like y'all coming up with these dumbass different rules about shit that happens naturally, and all you're doing is confusing the women that come after you.
It's also a contradiction because the same women will say, well, we bring out different things in men. He may not have done that for that other woman because he see or feel like she deserved it. He may not like her more. His experience with me when he was 22 is not going to be his experience with you at 32. There's a lot of growth and maturity and development that has come with that, and a lot more financial stability about his own relationships. So I really think that we have to stop trying to box men in and fit them into this social norm because they don't behave all the same way. They all don't take the same dynamics. That's why it's kind of hard, like, for me to even accept the terms pookies and ray-rays and alphas and simps because they're going by different metrics. Women are the only ones who apply ourselves to the same metric. They don't do that.
I actually feel sorry for our women because, like Paris said, women don't know what they want, but it's bigger than women not knowing what they want. Women are afraid of men altogether. Women are so afraid of a man actually wanting to be with her. That's really it. Like, y'all are so used to dudes either failing you or not wanting to be with you. But when a man actually wants to be with you, it scares the shit out of you because you are not either conditioned or mentally or emotionally prepared for a man to actually want to be with you. You're just so used to going through the motions of relationship, the conversations of I want to get married. But when it comes down to a man actually wanting you, you don't know what the hell to do with that because no man has ever genuinely wanted you. So you don't know what the hell to do with it. So when a man seems like he genuinely wants you, you leave. You get scared. You said he love bombed. You said he's a narc. You're going to make up all kinds of bullshit when that actual man comes in your life that actually looks like he wants to be with you because you ain't never felt like that before. And when you start feeling like that, the first thing you're going to say is, this is too good to be true. What if this happens? What if that happens? And you just pull away.
Self-sabotage.
Y'all self-sabotage because y'all are so emotionally screwed up where it doesn't make sense for a man to actually want to be with one of y'all because all y'all want to do is fuck it up. Shit is sad. Just keep acting like you don't want to be with a goddamn woman, then she'll give you whatever you want. The shit is just dumb. The way y'all operate is just backwards and it's just dumbfounded.
Some women are just not wanting to be committed because they lazy. They got to put in work because you could get a man all day long, but can you keep him? So they don't want to do anything. So they use these excuses and say, oh, you're too good for me, because you're probably right, because you can't be good to him. So they're doing people a favor by acting like this, honestly. Y'all could keep doing that, and y'all men just, kind of pay attention and don't get with women like that.
And Lady Di, not to call you out, but I think this is important as far as this conversation. Your husband wanted you. You ran from his ass. So it's shit that happens. And we ain't got time for this dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad y'all's situation worked out. But this shit be happening in real life. And the shit is annoying and it's sad.
Well, I say go with who's like you. But I think it's on both ends. I think it's, men are scared to be with women and women are scared to be with the men just because of what social media has become. There are no figures in the actual media that, back in the day, people used to look up to certain TV shows and certain, married couples and family dynamics. There is none of that anymore. And so the family unit is not something to be adored anymore. It's almost like a lost art nowadays.
Yeah.
So I think men are scared to be with women and women are scared to be with men. And sometimes I love having these conversations, but sometimes these conversations really don't help nobody. They really don't. I would love to say that they do, but I believe sometimes that they just don't, because it's a lot of, and he this, and she that. And it's like, until it makes the division even wider. It makes the gap even bigger between men and women. And if you say that you want to be in a relationship, you say that you want to be married, you say all these things, it's like, why do you come to platforms to tear down the opposite sex? If we're not learning, understanding, then what are we doing?
But this is
hey, let go real quick.
This is the reason why I do what I do as far as coaching women, because there's a huge issue, and instead of just being on social media talking about it, I do whatever it is I can do for my community to help women understand men and put people in a position where they can actually get away from being afraid of the opposite sex. So I agree, because it is when women and men being afraid of each other.
So what do you coach though? What do you tell the women to do?
I don't
you tell them stop being stupid and tell them they big egg kids.
What's your top 3 advice you give the women when you coach them?
I don't give them advice in particular. We have conversations with the books that we go over, and we have conversations over the books, because overall, I'm not a guru. I'm not the person that's just going to have all the answers. I facilitate a safe place for the women to actually ask questions and have these tough conversations about childhood trauma. Because the thing about it is, it's not. Hold on. It's
I don't feel safe. No,
hold on. It's not cut and dry. All these things. The reason why she said what she said in that video, it's not just cut and dry. It's rooted in childhood trauma. All of this shit is rooted in childhood trauma. So me just giving a woman advice, that's just bullshit. It's about understanding where the issue is actually coming from, and is always, not sometimes, always rooted in something that we either dealt with or something that we did not get in our childhood. So no, it ain't no, hey, do this, because that's not what it's about. It's about unraveling all of the fucking cord and find out what the hell happened when you were young. Is a book called What Happened to You. It's not what's wrong with you, it's what happened to you. So that's what I actually do.
The best way to
all right, so hey, real quick. Let go. I understand that that's your homegirl, Stormy P, but I'm just gonna tell you, she's going to be single for a very long time, or just have really horribly functioning relationships, because I've watched her give out ridiculous advice on a regular basis based on a lot of her terrible experiences. And you're on to something when you say the trauma, but I think a lot of it is based on just past relationships, probably some in her childhood, which led her to the bad relationships. But a lot of this is coming from her other experiences. And a lot of women tonight mentioned the D word, discernment. And she obviously does not have it. If you feel like you need to base what this man is doing based on a relationship from before, that's probably happened to her. To me, it sounded like she was explaining something that she's already experienced. Somebody may have started out love bombing her, and then now anytime somebody does that, she's like, oh, wait, but this is just what, like Sweeney said, men do. We all do it, right? And it's all relative too. You can't say that, okay, this guy gave me too much, because that's what women ask for. We're taught as we're young, what women are sugar, spice, everything that's nice. You're taught to be chivalrous. You're taught to take care of a woman. And then we go ahead and do that until we get burnt by a few women and then we're jaded. And that's a problem. But this is what women actually ask for. It may not be what all women respond to the way that you would expect them to, but this is what they ask for. If you ask a woman what she wants, she's going to say she wants somebody to take care of her. She wants somebody to take her out. She wants somebody to be nice to her. She wants somebody to buy her things. She wants somebody to provide, like we were talking about tonight. And then now when we do that, it's like, oh no, he's love bombing because some dude that was a jerk before.
But that's why
whatever you want to call him.
But that's why we aren't supposed to actually listen to what women want, because women are children.
Oh, and I know
what they want.
But before you
I know that.
Let's go a little deeper, right?
Go by what a woman wants. She don't know what
I was about to.
That is right. Like what Trev is saying, he's right. This is not only what women are saying, right? And you guys are following directions. This is also what we have been socialized to think in regards to dating. On the first date, you're supposed to bring me something. Typically, the universal language of you extending the offer is a flower or flowers. That's what it used to be. And we're talking courtship. So anytime you're coming to her, you're coming to get her, you're already giving her something. You're gifting her. And regardless of what that gift is, now it's been a lot more expansive. Now you have women saying, I don't like flowers. Used to be flowers and chocolate. Bring us a candy. Flowers and chocolate. It was always Valentine's Day when you're initially dating somebody, because that's what we was conditioned to do. But now you're starting to see that when you take out the actual rules of real dating and people start just doing whatever the fuck they want to do, you end up in situations like this.
And Stormy has dealt with some trauma or whatever. So yeah, I agree with you, Trev. And that's the reason why I brought that up. A lot of these women, the majority of women, they've dealt with so much trauma where actually being with a man is the scariest shit that they can ever do. So they just be acting like they want to be in a relationship. They want to act like when they did all the other. That's why the typical black woman would say, "Oh, I've been I've been engaged 3 times." Women, they get engaged 10 times, but their ass ain't gonna get married.
Yeah, but if you're bragging about being an engagement queen, right? What are you bragging about? Are you bragging about the fact that you're the biggest pump faker in history, or are you bragging about the fact that you failed every single time? Which one are you bragging about?
It makes them feel like, well, somebody wanted me, I just didn't want them. But it's just stupid.
But execution, you failed each
time.
I think went through.
What Miss Precious had said when she mentioned how both sides have dealt with trauma, so the vicious cycle continues. If you don't do any internal work before you start dating, you have the potentiality to over love bomb in a negative way or hurt somebody using it. I'm gonna trap her, I'm gonna do that. And the women can do the same thing. We can get in a relationship and spoil it because we didn't take time to heal ourselves before getting into that relationship. Now you're going to look at him like, I'm waiting for him to F up. And you're going to be setting yourself up and self-sabotaging. If you don't do any internal work, you have the, the potentiality to actually harm each other when you do get in a relationship. And then that person, if they were a good person prior to that relationship, is going to now be broken and now possibly start another vicious cycle if they choose to just go in a relationship instead of taking self-time to heal themselves. A lot of us, like me, I took off about 1.5 years, almost 2 years of not dating after being hurt, because I was hurt back to back twice, because I got in a relationship maybe 6, 7 months, 8 months later, and I didn't do any internal work, but I thought I did because I was alone. But there was a lot of work to be dealt with as far as, well, why did that happen? What can you do, moving forward? How do you make sure you're not bitter? If I don't do any internal work and I choose to get in a relationship, I'm just gonna bring my baggage and all my bitterness, what happened to me, into that relationship. And I've talked to people and started like the dating process. And if they don't text me back, or at a certain time, I used to get nervous because people would do little things, when they would cheat or whatever, and they're not texting back after 10. They just text you, they say good night, but they online, little stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm not ready to date yet, because that's a little triggering for me. So I would notice things, and I wouldn't put myself in that situation of a long-term commitment until I was ready. But if we just get in a relationship just to say we're in a relationship, or because we want to be in love, you could just damage somebody if you're not choosing to, get yourself together first and just, oh, I want to be married one day, so I'm gonna just date. Take some time to marry and love yourself, and then figure out what you really want, set your boundaries up, and then I think you can be with somebody else and it can actually be healthy. And yeah, you might be fearful in the beginning, because I can say that I might have been scared of being in a relationship in a sense, because I don't want to be hurt again. But you have to deal with that. And if you're afraid, then you should not date until you feel, a little bit confident, and take that chance. I don't think you should just be dating and hurting.
Let me tell y'all something about relationships. A lot of men and women, they'll be single for like 1, 2, 3 years, think they heal. Kind of like what you just said, Vegan. You think you're healed simply because you're alone, right? No, you just haven't been triggered because your feelings aren't out there. Your feelings aren't on your sleeve, right? But once you get into a relationship and it looks like it's real, that is when the work starts. That is actually when you got to get therapy. When you're in the middle of a relationship and you're starting to get insecure, you're starting to feel like this, you're starting to feel like that. Is this the real thing? That is when you get get therapy, because the thing about it is, it's like having a car and you hear a noise, and it's just a random noise. You take it to the car dealership, they're not going to hear nothing. They're just going to get your car back. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. But if you take your car while it's smoking or while it's leaking, they now can literally see where the leak is coming from, or see where the smoke is coming from, because the car is triggered. So you got to wait until you start feeling triggered, and then go to therapy and be like, yo, I feel triggered. I feel like this. I don't know what it is. I need to talk to somebody. But if you aren't actively dating, aren't actively out in the world dealing with the opposite sex, you'll literally think everything's perfect. But the second you start getting feelings for somebody, that's when all hell break loose in your mind, and you're going to keep running men and running women away every time you start dating somebody, because that is the time that you actually got to start dealing with the work that you were saying, Vegan. Because women love to say, you got to do the self-work, but don't be doing shit. Or they'll go to therapy when ain't nothing going on. All you doing is just talking about random shit. Nothing is actually presently bothering you. When you got to go to the therapy when something is presently bothering you, when you're actually smoking or when you're leaking, so they can see where the leak is coming from.
All right, let me get Ali in there real quick. Go ahead, Ali.
This is just the funny thing is when men are broke, when men are not established, when men say things women don't want to hear, when men say things women don't want to have nothing to do with, if it benefit them, they're toxic, that they don't benefit anybody. This is like the fact that Let Go, when I asked him the question, I asked him, he couldn't give no advice about just making them feel good. This is the problem with society. We hold men to these. I'll finish when I get that. You said you don't give these women advice. You make them feel good. You give them therapy and make them feel good. So the
Well,
problem with society,
I didn't say that.
Let go. You don't let go. Let me finish.
What are you talking about? I make them feel good. I said we go over books.
I'm gonna get to your horrible coaching. Let me finish. Society expects men to take care of everybody, be productive, provide, protect, and secure everybody. Make sure everybody's taken care of. But they tell women to do whatever they want to do. We cater to her feelings. We make sure we help her from healing. We make sure we don't gaslight her. We make sure we don't trigger her. We make sure she's not traumatized. We make sure she don't have PTSD. But then in another hand, let go, turn around, tell you women are children and make horrible decisions. So is it that she traumatized or she's making horrible decisions? If men have to show up, hold on. If men have to show up equipped and grown at 30 years old, 20 in their 20s, 30s, 40s, because I thought when you're 18, you're a grown person, then women have to show up the same way. If women are undesirable, they don't cooperate, they're not feminine, they don't want to cook, they don't want to clean, they don't understand a man, they don't want to learn a man, which most women don't, what Paris was saying. Most women have no idea what a man is. They trash. We just have to start being real about the fact that a lot of women are trash. And y'all try to you project and say men are trash because you're not showing up as a woman. This man showed up to love this, whatever he did. Gold digging. First, you don't want money. You don't want to be bought, but then you want money. Same thing what Paris said. Then a man coming here with love, and then you're saying, she processed.
Oh, now you love bombing me.
Now you love bombing me. But the reality is she was flexing. Women, the man who gives the less, pays the least, gets the most. Women will go on a date with a man. Get steak, get praise, get all these gifts, get get in the salon, and then I'm coming and hitting you at midnight. I'm having sex with you. Women are having sex with the man they want, and they have all these expectations and standards for men they don't want. She didn't like the guy because she do less. He could do less for that. We need to start addressing the fact that we have to hold our sisters accountable to show up as women, and it's their responsibility to be women. I don't want to hear traumatized anymore. I don't want to hear heal anymore. I don't want to hear I'm triggering you. I don't want to hear I'm gaslighting. No, you trash. You can't. The fact that there's women that's loyal in relationships, the reason why those men don't want to stay because they don't have peace in that relationship. She's undesirable. She's not cooperative. Everything is about her. She's bitter, and she takes everything that has to happen in that relationship out on that guy. That's the problem with today's society. So if you have a man that's trying to love bomb you, if you have a man that tells you the truth, tell me the truth. If you have a man that's being emotionally available, trying to care about what you're talking about, but you saying. You said he's toxic. If you have a man trying to speak to you, hey, you raising your voice. If you have a man trying to lead you, but you say he's trying to be controlling, you're the problem. Forget healing. Grow up. Like we need to grow up. Black people ain't never talked like this in my life. I never heard my aunts, my grandfather's uncle talk like this. Y'all, I'm tired of talking about women healing. What you mean heal? Heal from what? You need to grow up. You made bad decisions. You need to learn from your bad decisions, learn what a woman is, learn how you could cater to a man and be a woman. Same thing with a man. If you're going to hold me to a high expectation and show it to be a leader and make sure you give me full authority. Make sure you trust that I'm responsible. Don't go, oh, I want him to be a leader, but I need 30%. No, I got 100 of the say so. If not, get out my life. Get out my house. If you don't want to cook and clean for me and work for me and my son, if you don't want to work for my daughter, my family, and help my mother, just be a helpful and a good woman. We are not addressing the fact that we don't have traditional women, and you're the most valuable piece of this. All we do is respond to y'all. Where there's peace, there's a woman. Where there's chaos, there's a woman. Y'all are the foundation. If there's hoes, it's not my responsibility to stop making you a hoe and practice discipline. No, you a hoe. Dude gonna get sex. If you're a wife, he gonna treat you like a wife. That's your responsibility. Y'all are the foundation, y'all. Y'all got a way bigger responsibility of what children are supposed to be, what women are supposed to be, what boys are supposed to be. Y'all the first teachers to everybody. Y'all the first providers of everybody. You feed the baby. You speak to the baby. Y'all speak life into us. I'm supposed to come back. When I go out my mama, I'm supposed to come back to somebody like my mama. When the boy leaves the mama, he's supposed to take care of somebody just like his mama. Stop with all and let go. I'm gonna tell you this. If you can't give me 3 good advice of what I can tell women to forget the healing stuff and how she could be a strong woman and how she can help a man's life and understand she's supposed to invest in that man's life. If you just sat here and said that it don't matter what she wants, it matters what the man want, you contradicting yourself and you selling everybody short when you just coaching them and making them feel good. We're doing too much of making women feel good instead of bluntly telling them y'all showing up as trash. Our women, when they're gold, we are gold. We're supposed to provide and protect and take care of them. Facts. But they have to be loved.
But we have no problem sitting there making sure that man don't show up as trash. Call him out every step of the way.
Yeah, when
And
women to me,
y'all don't give them no leeway either. If a man shows up as trash, for most women, if a man shows up as trash, she ain't giving him no time of day. She ain't trying to figure out what his mama did to him. She's not trying to figure out his trauma. She ain't trying to figure out none of that shit. She gonna kick that nigga to the curb. So as men, there is no.
The only thing we can't say that at the same time as we saying that what Ali's saying, whereas women will offer everything to the man that does nothing. Because if a man is trash, a lot of times it's open arms.
I
and
agree.
The man that's not trash, the man that's doing the right thing, he got to jump through hoops.
I think both can exist at the same time. I think there are a lot of women that give all to a nigga that doesn't do much for them. However, when I talk about people, I look at the vast majority of people. Vast majority of motherfuckers out here are single as shit. Most of them ain't got nobody to go at all, and it's because they come in with expectations. And that's the reason why everybody's single, because they have a lot of expectations. So I'm speaking to, before they even get into the relationship, you come in and men don't get the leeway of not being able to come in whole and healed. The expectation on us is you better come with your shit together. I don't give a fuck that your mama did something to you. I don't give a fuck that your daddy wasn't there. I don't care if you went to jail for 3 years and you experienced this. You better come to me correct. And
so
for women, it's always, you need to understand where she's coming from. You need to understand that her dad wasn't there. You need to understand that her past boyfriends were a problem. So therefore, you need to be able to, you got to come in with compassion. No, I shouldn't have to accept that. If you don't have to accept it, I shouldn't have to accept it. Now,
we had the same mama and daddy. Just say we had the same mother and father. If the boy has to pick himself from his bootstraps and become a man, then what were you doing all this time? If I have to show up being established, what are you showing up as? Oh, I get money. I got a degree. I got a job. I got a baby, and don't even give value to the fact that the guy, you got his seed. And then you claiming a child. You making them fight for the kid. What are you doing? What are our women doing out here? We keep giving instruction to brothers. What instruction are women giving for a couple of women? They get no instruction. Oh man, hey man, you need to vet better. Go to the next one. You need to vet better. Go to the next one. Oh, that's a red. You a red flag. Actually, brother, you got a problem picking. No, women say they don't got a mama. Women saying they ain't got a daddy, and then you don't want to listen to a man, but you want a leader. Pick the man you want and shut up. It's simple as that. And I'm talking about a good man. I ain't saying some trash guy. Pick the man you want. Say you be who you say you are. Be a great woman and let him lead and be quiet. It's that simple.
Because a lot of times the next man got to pay more but get the same amount, if not less, than the last one got. Every single time. He has to accept more, have to deal with more, and he has to be a good man to you, but he gets less than what the last guy got, or he gets the same thing that the last guy got. Which actually,
Sweetie, let me ask you this. I want to ask the dudes this question, right? So let's say your daughter, right? Your daughter is like 20 years old. She wound up getting pregnant by, the Pookie, the Ray Ray, right? She made a really horrible choice. She comes to you and she says, you know what, this time around, what is it that I should do when I'm seeking the next man? What should I be looking for? What should I expect? What should I demand that this man is at that point? What would you tell your daughter?
I would tell her she already knows what to expect. She made a dumbass choice. And now for the next man, you need to show him why you and your kid are worthy of going into his home.
So you would tell her to do better. So what I was asking was, what expectations should she have from the man? Or would you just say, no, you can't have any expectations. Take what you could get. What would you tell her that she should expect? If she's asking you, what should I expect?
Family, you're doing it right. Hold on, sweetie. You're doing it right now. We keep giving second chance, third chance, fourth chance, fifth chance. She was under my coverage. She made a decision like that. She's connected to that man now. She can go back to what I advised her before, or just still live out in the street. There's nothing else to say, Trev. You look like a great father. No, I'm sure Sweetie great. No, there's nothing else. Family, there's nothing else to say. There's nothing else to say. We do this. You made your choice.
There is.
You got to sleep.
There is. So listen, let's say that the first time she had the dude, he's no longer available. He got his own new family. You got yourself. You a single mom. She don't want to be alone for the rest of her life. She's fixed her life, right? She's ready to listen. She's coming to you for advice. And she's telling me, what should I do to make sure I can get a better man? What should I expect from him?
No, you need to
what
go
would
get
you
your
want
man
for your
back.
daughter?
No, Trev, ain't no new man. You need to go get that man
If
back.
he's married to somebody else now, there ain't no getting
And
back.
that's her
It ain't,
problem.
it
She
ain't
gotta
always
live,
that easy.
she has to live with that decision and still live by what I already taught her before. And I hope to God you get a great man. But if you don't get a great man because of the decisions you made,
life.
That's life. If same thing I tell my son. If you continue
So if she comes to you for advice, you're just gonna say that's it.
That's
you made
life.
your choice. It's
You
over.
made your choice.
No. Listen, when I was in mental health, right? Kids would act up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I gave them a natural consequence, right? We either getting out of here or you not getting what you want, or you sitting right where you at. You don't get to be around everybody else. Kids switch right away, right? The teachers go and hug them and kiss them. Oh my God, he's been through this. He's been through that. He's been through this. He's not going to change. He's getting rewarded and hugged and loved for making bad decisions. She has to, you already told, look at you. You gave her all the insight you can give her. What else you going to tell her? What are you going to tell her?
She know what a good man
Honestly,
is.
that's hold on, let go. Trev, if your wife cheat on you, what you going to tell her?
Shit. It ain't nothing to talk about.
So we
It
need
ain't
to
nothing to
start
talk about.
No. So we need to start treating our daughters the same way we treat our sons. We need to treat our daughters for the next man. We need to teach her how to be a wife. If she decided to be a hoe, she has to deal with that. If she decided to be a wife, that's what she gets. Same thing with my son. If you want to be out here, be deceitful, be a weak man, you don't want to be established, you want to be a bum. And I ain't even talking about finance. I'm talking about mind, body, and spirit. You're going to get
There's
the
a place for
consequences
you.
of that.
There's a place for you.
Trev, if you're not going to save your wife, what you doing with your daughter? We just love, we love our children. We love our children to death. But if they go outside their coverage, they get the natural consequence. What else can you tell them? Why you gonna help? You ain't gonna help your wife, but you gonna help your daughter?
Yeah, there's a place
for
Ali.
me. That's a different ball game.
That's your wife.
That's a different ball game.
Look, Ali.
Once you do that, you've already terminated
I
the relationship. You're not a wife.
I agree
at that
with
point.
Ali. I agree with everything Ali said, and Ali be up here wanting to disagree with me. We are actually on the same page. The reason why they literally just said, "Did you give those kids advice?" And you said no. The same thing I said about the women in my coaching group. Because it's not about advice, it's about consequences. And that's literally what I said. I didn't say about the consequences part, but giving women advice is making women feel good because all they want to do is hear word salad.
Hear the cheat code.
I don't
He is
give
right.
women
They want to hear
word
the cheat
salad.
code.
I give
So
women
I asked you,
consequences.
okay, what's the three? Okay, so tell me 3 things you tell women. That's all I want from you. Other than that, we talk behind the scenes. And tell me 3 things that you tell them.
Okay, but the thing about it is I've been doing this for 6 years. There's no just 3 things that I just tell women.
Let go. I just want 3 things that you say. Don't derail, family. Just tell me 3 things that you tell women.
Okay, as an example, I teach women to have an understanding of what detached observation is. That's one of my lessons, just as an example. What that means is when you're dating a man, when you're in a relationship with a man, your job is to keep a sense of detachment. Don't attach yourself to this man early because you don't know him, and stay in a constant state of observation because your job is to observe this man instead of actually.
Let it go, Ali. He don't get it.
Hold on. Because the first thing a woman is going to do, one, she's going to start forgetting about everything that, like, she's not going to pay attention to red flags because once a woman attaches herself to a man, she stops paying attention. And he can do whatever it is he wants, and he's going to start fucking up, and she's not going to pay attention. Women stop paying attention to the dumb shit that men potentially start doing, because just like women come in with their representatives, men come in with their representatives. So women and men do the same shit. They come in and act like they're healed. They come in and act like everything's great. And what happens is a woman starts ignoring the fact that he ain't great and he's not perfect. You stay in a constant state of observation. And then once you see issues, once you see red flags, keep a constant state of detachment where when you see a problem, you're okay with detaching yourself from this man. Women turn around and see red flag after red flag after red flag. But once she's emotionally attached herself and attached her narrative to that man, she ain't going nowhere no matter what she fucking sees. So that's an example of what I do. But I can't just give you 3 main things. I talk about all kinds of shit.
You did not give
Lego. Don't give him the game, Lego.
Hold on, wait. Hold on, Ali. Let me, because maybe he won't pick it up from you. You did not answer Ali's question.
I know we got to transition, y'all. We'll save after hours.
JR, please, JR, one thing, JR.
Let us have this, JR.
One thing, JR.
This is what Ali does.
No, Lego, you already talked.
Hold on, Lego.
Man, like y'all sound like Joe Budden and Ish.
This
is what he does.
No, let's let go. He tells women what toxic women tell their daughters. We tell men to be responsible, get married, be leaders, take care of all the society. He told her what mothers tell their daughters. Don't get attached to these men. Depend on yourself. Don't worry about these men. He not teaching them how to be great quality women for men.
Ali.
Okay, yeah, we got to transition now. We got to transition.
I need you to be quiet and stop doing the same thing.
Let go. I got it. Hey,
no, we trying to tell you to transition.
Come on,
you
y'all.
do the same dumb
Let
shit
go.
every time
Let go. Gentlemen,
every damn time.
Come on.
You teach your mamas. You teach what toxic mothers teach. AJR.
Okay, but this ain't about me. This is about the show.
I wish I had my sound effects. Gentlemen, are y'all ready? Okay. Let's go ahead and get to the main topic of the night, man. Let's get to the main topic, which is high body count equals no attachment. Let me go ahead and play this clip.
With as many people as possible is not in any way affecting how you see relationships, affecting how you relate to women, and just one day, you're just gonna wake up and you're gonna say, it's her. She's the one. And all of my behavior is going to stop at hello. And I'm going to have the discipline to stop at hello. I'm not going to have any temptation. I'm not going to betray myself. I'm not going to betray her. But what I've been mastering is self-betrayal. What I've been practicing is self-betrayal. But because it's you, it's going to be different. That's ludicrous. That doesn't...
Definition of insanity.
It is insanity. Because whatever we practice, we master. And when you want to pivot, you literally have to start practicing something else. You got to unlearn. You've got to shift appetite. You got to create accountability. You got to do a whole lot of stuff, because just desire is not going to be enough.
And it's not just sex. It's so much deeper than that. It's an energy exchange. It's a spiritual exchange.
Right.
It's so much more to it than just casual sex.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
With the energy exchange. That they lost me right there. The energy exchange, it's over.
Women with their little stupid terms is just like hilarious. It's like they all went to the same school to learn these stupid ass terms.
Hold on, y'all. Let me go ahead and get some of the ladies in there. Let me start off with Precious, Lady Di, and Paradise.
I don't know if a woman can tell a man that a certain woman is not going to change his mind or change his ways. I don't know if a woman can give that advice. I know, what I will say though is that when you practice certain things in singleness, that when you do, decide to be in a relationship, it may be difficult at first. And so that's why it is important to practice certain things in singlehood, so you can ease into a relationship knowing that you're not still sleeping with all these girls because, it's just a hobby. Some guys do practice, semen retention. Some guys do practice, hey, look, I'm not going to be out here and being crazy. I'm just going to be, focused on my goals, focused on my money, focused on my grind. But that's not to say that when he runs into a certain woman that he may not change. So I don't know if I can necessarily listen to them when they say that. But I do stick to, you know, what you do in your singleness. If you going out every single weekend, if you partying every single weekend, then, you know, settling down into a relationship may not be the move for you because you're so used to being on the move. I know that a lot of men do say that it does take a certain type of woman or a certain woman, whoever that woman is, I guess only that man knows. But it does take her for him to, you know, see things differently, move a little differently. So I don't know. I don't know if I can get down 100% with what they're saying. But you know, when she mentioned when you practice something over and over again, you are mastering that thing. So that's the only thing that I could take out of what they were saying. High body count equals no attachment. I think it does go back to, I'm gonna agree with what Mr. Let Go said. It is childhood trauma, honestly, and I think that people use sex as trying to, you know, cure a symptom of childhood trauma, but you're not getting to the root of it. You're not killing it at the root. So you're going to use sex, you're going to use pornography, whatever it is, to try to cure a symptom of your trauma, your issues, whatever it is you haven't, you know, necessarily gotten over. But like I said, I do think that she was right, and what you practice is what you're going to master. So unless you unravel, unless you know, kind of cut back and get ready for the life that you want, it is going to be difficult.
And it goes to the actual why. So, and that's the reason why I said what I said earlier. Telling somebody not to have sex and they want to have sex, that's not going to change nothing. But when you like unravel shit and get an understanding why they want to have casual sex is due to the fact that they're dealing with all this trauma. Now you could deal with the back end shit. And when you deal with the back end shit, they no longer have this insatiable need to cope with what's hurting them emotionally. Therefore, they'll stop having casual sex.
All right, go ahead, Lady Di.
So if you wasn't raped or molested or anything, I don't see how having sex is coping with having a failed relationship. That's an excuse. As far as having a high body count is no attachment. I think having a high body count is having an attachment, because some of these ladies that have this extreme body count, they're not with nobody. They're not married. They don't. A lot of them don't have. They have kids, but they don't have a family. Like they didn't, you know, have a child with their husband. A lot of these women are having kids, but they don't have the man with them. They're kicking them out the house. So I believe that high body count, you have an attachment with these men that you're having sex with. That's why you are making excuses not to be with somebody. You're throwing all these excuses about why men are no good and I can't find what I want, is because you comparing the man to all these men you had relationship with. And you probably want a relationship with these men that you had sex with, but they didn't want a relationship with you. So now you're going to sit here and keep building your body count because you don't trust men and you think men are dogs, but you walking around giving your hoo-ha to whoever you want. So who's the real dog? I don't understand that. But I don't see how you can use sex as a coping mechanism. Sex doesn't do nothing for you. It just gives you, I guess, that pleasure, but it's not voiding your issues. So
no, that's why it's a coping mechanism. A coping mechanism is smoking cigarettes because you're stressed, smoking crack because you're this, having sex, eating ice cream because you feel a certain kind of way. It's all about dopamine. Sex gives you dopamine. So whatever gives you dopamine is most likely, not always, a coping mechanism. Ice cream, dick is the same shit.
No, so the reason why I don't look at it as the same, I understand, you know, using drugs and eating a whole bunch of food as an addiction is one thing, but when you're having sex, you have to get another person to have sex with you, and you got to keep doing that over and over again. You're like attaching yourself to multiple people versus you just eating the ice cream and just keep buying a damn ice cream over and over. That's between you and the ice cream. That ice cream and the crack or whatever it is, that's not a person. But you keep going
None
to
of that
a person.
Matters. We're talking about see, we got receptors, we got oxytocin, we have dopamine receptors. Okay, This is an actual hormone. And in order to get that feeling of dopamine, it's going to be certain things. And one of those things is sex. Whether you're having sex with a person or a doll, it's still dopamine. I'm talking about the actual hormone dopamine. Ice cream, crack, sex, all dopamine. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but
Random sex, not
yes,
casual sex. Casual
random sex, you can do that, like you said, with a doll, novelties, you use that, but you getting with a person, that is a different
It
conversation,
is the
because now
same
you got
thing.
somebody else
I'm trying to let you
connected.
know it's the same thing. It's not. It's the same thing.
Well, that's why it's wrapped up
Those
in
are
trauma,
excuses
lady
to me.
guys. That's why it's wrapped up in trauma, because now you're pulling other people into
Into
your
your
mess
coping mechanism,
instead of
right?
you actually dealing with what's wrong with you. That's
Right.
the fucked up part about it, when you
Mhm.
bringing somebody else into it. And that's usually when people are only trying to, mitigate the symptoms, is when they usually bring other people into it, because they haven't done what they needed to do on their own to get rid of the trauma or get over it.
Escape through
Y'all
ecstasy.
know how
They think
catching a nut
having sex
can
is
literally
getting
make
it.
you forget about all your problems? Like, that's a real thing.
What?
It's because
Yeah,
it's the
but
thing.
like I
You never
said,
heard about post-nut clarity? Hold
to
on.
me,
No,
trauma is
no,
saying
Hold
that you
on.
a woman.
saying that
Hold
you
on,
have
y'all.
trauma
I want to get your lady died in paradise.
saying that you have trauma and you keep having sex with people, y'all, it's more than just trauma. You just want to fucking have sex with that person. Like, stop. I feel like what's happening is you're putting trauma triggers and all this stuff together, saying, well, this is the reason why they're having sex and having all of this hyposexuality situation going on. It's not just trauma and triggers. All of us had trauma growing up. That don't mean all of us have a whole bunch of sex partners. It
It's
depends
not
on the
trauma.
person
It's
and what they're trying
coping
to
with the
do.
trauma. It's coping with the trauma. Sex
Right.
is a way to cope with trauma. If a woman is running around, see, men were naturally born to just run around, just want to smash any chick. Women
I don't
aren't.
think.
All right. So when a woman is running around having casual sex, she's coping with something that happened to her. Coping.
She's
Dopamine. Those are
using
the two
an
words.
excuses. That's what she's doing, or he,
I
whoever.
don't
So
care what she's doing. I'm telling
I think
what it is.
to your point, like if you think about, like you said, with the dopamine, right? Everybody's you're trying to escape and you're trying to get high. People get high off sex with the orgasm. People get high off buying new shoes. People get high off eating. It's you're
Shopping.
looking for something, shopping. You're looking for something to fill the void. Now, some people, as Lady Precious has mentioned, you're looking for a way to brings now somebody else into your own toxicity, because you end up accidentally, I don't know if it's on purpose, I guess, but you're bringing somebody else in your own mess, but you're still trying to escape from your mess. You're not even bringing that person in there to deal with your mess. You just trying to escape from it, and everybody's trying to escape. You see people who are obese, every time they get upset, they emotionally go eat. Every time somebody gets upset, I gotta go buy some shoes. I need to go shopping real quick. Girl, shopping time. It's still, you're filling that void and you're releasing dopamine, feeling good for a second to escape from your problems. If you're not sitting there with your problems, your vice might not be my vice. Somebody might go snort some cocaine. Somebody else might be like, let me go get some dick. They're both not healthy attributes for coping for what you're fucking going through, but everybody's you know what I mean? But people are choosing their own vice. Somebody might snort, somebody might go.
Some women drink wine all the time. They come home,
They
drink
might make
wine.
it a little
Some dudes gotta have
fancier.
a beer.
Right.
It's all dopamine. It's all I need to escape from whatever I'm going through in my mind. It's the same shit.
All right, let's get Paradise in there. Go ahead, Paradise.
Now that we finally figured out that sex can be a coping mechanism in
Thank
regards to
you.
the video, in regards to the video, she was talking about men, and I think the issue is, like, we always try to segregate the genders. Anytime you're constantly trying to go from in and out of a relationship where you basically allowed your body to intimately engage with one person, and they've learned it and you learned them and you got a pattern, I don't care what nobody say, you keep having sex with the same person over and over again, it gets better, because you naturally have that attraction and actually kicks in. And regardless of, I know how we say men are built this way and da 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 da. Trey Songz got a whole song about it. Sex ain't better than love. It is a whole nother different feeling when you actually can have an intimate connection with a person as opposed to just casual sex. I think we all can agree to that. I think what she was trying to say in that video, although she was specifically talking about men, was you can say all day long that you want a good woman and you're going to get into a relationship and you're going to drop everything and become faithful, but you're not actually restricting yourself from being, practicing the faithful part of it, because you're practicing how to always move on. You're practicing how to abandon. You're practicing how to leave. You're not actually showing any wherewithal of you actually conforming to one person's body and submitting yourself. So I think that that's where she was going with that. And she actually wasn't wrong. And I think it can be applied to men and women. And I feel the same way about women who are strippers. You're naturally aroused when a man touches you inappropriately. Even during the R word, it's been shown in studies that the men assumed that the woman enjoyed it because her body was doing naturally what she was supposed to do. So if you're in a strip club and you constantly drinking and you constantly getting other substances to make you numb, eventually you're going to stop being aroused altogether. It's going to take more for a person to fulfill you. Same thing with men who have been molested or used women as a sop. He don't know what intimacy is because all he's done is just the sex. There is no emotional attachment to it because he hasn't had the opportunity to connect the two. So that's why I stand with that.
All right, so check
Go
this
ahead,
out.
Trey.
Men literally have 15 times the amount of testosterone that women do. Like, she's talking about men specifically, right? Why is it that we are trying to make it seem like it's some type of an issue for men to want to have sex when we're literally wired biologically to procreate? How is this a problem? This is what men are supposed to do. This is what we do. I don't understand that part. Like, all right, so if you're talking about women, that's a different story, but we talk about the men. And men can't turn it off if they want to. They would have to find a woman who's able to fulfill their every need. Yes. But I did it. I know plenty of people who do it. You could do what you want to do and then just pump the brakes at any time. Okay, I'm going to chill. It gets old. For real, it gets old. You get enough of it, you like, all right, it doesn't mean the same thing. And to kind of go to what Paris was saying, it is better to have an intimate relationship, right? When you get close with that partner, your wife that's willing to do everything for you, then it makes sense. It's going to be better sex. That's just what it is. It doesn't matter. It's not practice like that. You could stop at any time. There's people who quit everything cold turkey. Huh?
Do you think men can really stop like that? Let's just say
yes, if they want to. Yes, we're not bound by that. Like, we like to have sex, and we're going to have sex, right? We're going to get ours off because we're wired that way. How we get it off is optional. We could focus on one woman. We could do it with many women. Whatever. As long as we get it, we get it. Some people will rub the genie out the bottle. As long as you get it, you get it. It don't matter how you get it, as long as you get it. Preferably,
I'll jack off and just go to sleep and don't have to do nothing.
Rubbing the genie out.
Have to.
We're talking about having sex with multiple women and turning that off, because you know what they say, ain't nothing better than, what is it, new coochie?
Hold on, Precious.
Yeah, but that's
we actually get over that because new
so
coochie can turn out to be dangerous depending on who you are and how you're living.
As you get older, you start thinking about risks and
as you get older,
but there are men who mature earlier.
Has dangers.
It depends on what his situation is. As long as he has access to sex, he can be good. He has to have access to some type of sex, right? You're going to try to get your rocks off one way or the other. But it can work with one woman. It's not hard to do. As long as you have a woman who is willing to be interesting enough to keep you interested, you're going to be fine. And it doesn't matter what your past was. It doesn't affect us in the same way that it affects women. We don't have to just sit out here and keep doing a bunch of women. It's not that deep.
Do you think men are just addicted to women? Hold on. Do you think men are just addicted to women, Precious? Or what? What was your... I don't understand your question.
Men are addicted to women?
Yeah, you think a man is just gonna just be out here? Huh?
So Listen,
I don't know if it's the woman per se, but it's you know her
addicted to
well, it is sex.
cooking.
You know what I mean?
Men
Like,
on average think about sex 19 times a day. On average, men think about sex 19 times a day.
Well,
This is just real.
we
This is
got
just
a
how it
woman,
is,
we good.
right? And women do a lot too, but we execute. We execute, right? Like I said, 15 times the testosterone.
Here's the thing.
Wait,
But we don't have to have sex with all these different
Hold
women
on.
because, like I
Hold on,
said,
Mr. Lego.
We don't.
it turns dangerous because these women are nuts.
Hold on, Mr. Lego.
See what I'm
everything that lady said was essentially, and he's still gonna cheat on you anyway. That's basically what she was saying. There's nothing he gonna do because if he has a high body count, he's still gonna cheat on you anyway.
Yeah.
Here's the reality.
Yeah.
Here's the reality. Men do it all the time. We ask women to marry us all the time. We find a woman and say, "Hey, can you? I want to marry you." That's him having an attachment. Because basically, what she was trying to say was, because he has a high body count, that means he doesn't know how to attach to a woman. So that means he doesn't know how to turn off having a high. He doesn't know how to turn off dealing with multiple women. So therefore, he can't attach to a woman. We do it all the time when we ask you to marry us. We settle down all the time. We're not even the ones walking away from our marriages most of the time.
Women are usually the ones that do the shit, not men.
They're traumatized.
We do it all the time. Now, what she was really trying to say
not a
was,
believer.
what she was really trying to say is, if he has a high body count before he gets with you, that means he's gonna continue to cheat on you after he gets with you. That's literally what she was saying, but she was trying to paint it into a different thing. We know what you were saying.
How is a woman not our responsibility if she's not our wife and we're not with her? But then she's having sex with us, she traumatized and needs to heal, and it's our fault.
She was traumatized by her parents, not by us.
Now she's traumatized by her parents.
We didn't traumatize them. Their parents traumatized them. I remove all that. Women, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, we didn't do shit to y'all. Your uncle, your mama, your daddy, all them people. Y'all were traumatized when y'all were 5, 6, 9, 12. Before you were even into men. We didn't do it. Go ahead.
So what is so the men having sex with them ain't traumatized?
No, they're coping with their trauma by having sex with us.
So the men so the men are dogs and cheetahs and animals, and the women just traumatized, and we're using them. That's what you're telling all of society. So young boys, let me finish. Young boys ain't been touched. Young boys ain't been sexualized. Young boys weren't shown by women what sex was. You're saying all these things happen to girls, but all these things weren't happening to boys. That's what you're saying. So when I was having sex at a young age, I was just a dog and a user. The woman, I was traumatizing her. She wasn't traumatizing me.
I didn't say you was traumatized. I literally said,
her parents. No, my parents, the same parents. Those still same parents didn't traumatize men.
A lot of times, a young girl that start having sex at the age of 14, 15, she's trying to
answer my question. Let go.
Bro,
no, answer. No, you're not. You can do it on your show.
I'm not here to answer your goddamn question. We're gonna have a conversation.
Are men traumatized?
Can you calm down?
You
said something. It's my turn to talk.
Easy.
Are men traumatized?
Talking.
No, I'm gonna talk. You ain't gonna talk to me like that. You
stop talking.
The host can ask me that. You're not gonna tell me to stop.
Okay,
talking.
can you calm down? You asked me a question. I'm trying to answer your question.
Even hype. I'm
trying to answer your damn question.
No, you're not.
Can I ask you a question? Yes or no?
Go ahead. Let's try.
Thank you. So, the young girls who start having sex, usually it's because
I didn't ask you that. I'm not even talking about women.
Finish?
No, because I'm not talking about women. You making it about women.
I'm gone. I ain't got time for this shit. I'm sick of this fucking dude, man. God damn. You fucking obsessed with me. This shit is gay.
You ain't trying to help women. You make women feel good.
All right, bro. This shit is gay. You keep being up. Yo, this nigga is obsessed with me.
You
say women are children. You say women are children.
Question. You're not
answering what women think don't matter. He do this, man. He out of control. He don't tell women. He don't give no women good advice. He don't give them insight on how to make proper attachments, on how to invest in themselves and be women. Go to men, go to women, go to healthy relationships, just like Trev be talking about. Get advice from married people. Get advice for a woman who has a relationship that's working. He don't tell them none of that. He just tell them what they want to hear.
Just for those in the comment section, if y'all don't understand, Ali asked him a specific question. He said, "Are boys not traumatized because we are coming from the same parents?" He did not answer that question. That's the question he was trying to figure out, because every single time he wanted to rope it back to women and say, well, when the women have multiple sex partners, they're traumatized. So he was asking them a simple question. So if boys have multiple sex, doesn't that also mean that they might be traumatized because they're coming from the same parents?
They have to be traumatized. It ain't no might. They have to be traumatized. We know boys be traumatized. We work in mental health, but we don't limit them. We're not us as adults ain't supposed to limit people to anything. We have to grow up. If you encounter something that was bad, we have to learn from our bad experiences, or we're held to those experiences for the rest of our life. It is not my Lady Di's not responsibility. I have no coverage and authority over her. Other women that I have no coverage of, they're not my responsibility. So if they say they're not going to submit to me, they're not going to be my wife, and I can't control them, how then is it my responsibility to make sure they're a good woman and show up as a good woman? That's crazy to me.
I'm with you, Ali. I'm with you, bro.
I don't know what's going on with the men tonight, man, y'all.
We good.
As soon as I played that Joe Budden video, that same energy.
Didn't I tell you, Trev? Didn't I just tell you we get passionate when we have these discussions? It's the same thing with that Joe Budden video, man. We get passionate.
Yeah, it happens. But tomorrow we're gonna be good again.
But y'all acknowledge look, every time I talk to Trev, I know he's listening. When I talk to Sweeney, I know y'all are very intentional. Let go, flip flop, let go, just say women are nuts. But then he'll turn back around and say they traumatized. And then he say they make bad decisions. But then they say they children. We gotta make our minds up. Are they adults? Or are they children that's traumatized? Are they nuts and make bad decisions? Which one is it? Our women have a big responsibility. They have to be our foundation. We, as a society, we are dropping the ball and not giving our women instruction and making sure that they're shamed as much as men are shamed when they're not being fit.
It's important. I feel like that part is important. That's important. You have to hold men and women accountable, no matter how you spin it. You have to hold women accountable. You have to hold men accountable. That's all of our jobs, because this is what we do, right? All of us do this as individuals, right? We try to help people, whether you want to call them advice, consult, whatever. It's our job to let them know when they're doing something foul and when they're not doing the things that are right. We have to pull coats.
But when women hold other women accountable, they get, don't talk to her like that. You're being too hard and all the stuff that happened earlier on this show. But hey.
And that's the reason why when it came to vegan, I was like, that's why I was like, basically you tried to use the young and dumb excuse. And that's why I had to tell her, I'm like, that young and dumb excuse is just an excuse to tell somebody, hey, you need to take me as I am because I experienced this and I was just young and dumb. But we don't tell people what you're supposed to do is, even if you did make a dumb decision, you're supposed to come to that person completely accountable for the decisions that you make, and then show that person by telling and showing them how you can be an asset to their lives. We don't never tell people that they have to do that. We always just use it as a catch-all. Well, I was young and dumb. Well, what am I supposed to do with your young and dumb decision?
But then we could have dissected, and I'm not even gonna dissect her. I'm gonna leave her personal relationship out of it. But once she brung up that she had a kid and there was another man involved, and then you moved out of that state, and I'm saying in general, I'm using her example. I'm not even talking about her, but I'm gonna use her example. You moved out of state to be with another man. You had to move away from the child's father. Now, if that guy wasn't a good quality and this guy wasn't a good quality, that means you're prioritizing you. And that man probably checked out because he wasn't getting peace in that household, and he was prioritizing a woman that he wasn't married to and a child that wasn't his. He was. Awesome. They both were in it for probably the wrong reasons. And I'm saying not her situation, but I'm using it as an example. When women prioritize being that lifeline for a man, loving that man, catering to that man, y'all know how we are naturally. If a woman does one thing for us, we want to do 5, but we make sure we love you first. Don't say we in an intimate sexual relationship or situationship. But if we love you, Trav's gonna do ×5, Sweeney gonna do ×5, and we build a genuine relationship and something that we value, and I will build with you.
But what women mess up on with that
lady that getting there.
What women mess up on is that they giving these men kids. If you take the kid out and you just like with them for, let's say I was 5 years, then I could say you wasted maybe 5 years. All right. But when you give a child, now that changes the whole conversation. Now you are tied to this man as much as he's tied to you and your family. So you got to make it work.
And your new man, who's better by your own choice, apparently he's better. Not only he has to carry that, so he has to walk into that situation. A lot of people don't understand what they come to. People always talk about, well, what you bring to the table. What you bring to the table can also be bad things. Bringing a child to the table can't be a bad thing for me. So you have to come to the table and I have to deal with more than what I would have to deal with in this particular scenario, but I get less or the same. What are you going to do to make yourself better for the person that you chose after you made the mistakes with the previous person? How do you become better? And that's the conversation a lot of people don't have is, well, what are you going to do that's better? Not what you're going to expect that's better, because she came in, when she opened up the conversation, I'm going to rope it back into her. She walked in with expectations. I expect the man to be this. I expect the man to be that. I'm not settling for this. I'm not settling for that. Well, if you're not going to do all of those things, then what do you become and what does he get for becoming a better man than the one that you settled for before?
But a lot of it sometimes I don't even feel like is ill-willed. A lot of women just don't know how to be good to a man. A lot of women don't understand or care to understand what it is that a man actually appreciates. They don't think about, oh, this man wants peace. Oh, this man, he wants somebody to support him. He wants somebody to pour into him. He wants somebody to make him better so he can lead you and the family. And a lot of women don't think that. They think that they think we want the same things that they want. They think we want somebody that's out here getting money. They think we want somebody who's out here independent and that doesn't need us. That's the biggest turnoff you could give to a man, is to say that you don't need us. We need you to need us. Otherwise, I don't serve a purpose in your life.
Can we say they don't care?
Yeah.
I said or don't care too. That's true.
But the core of it is they don't care. And we don't care about you instantly. We already know what kind of woman you are. We have to show up with charismatic, have a personality, have a sense of humor, learn how to build, learn how to fix, have finances, have relationships in different departments of life. Be generous, be understanding, be sympathetic, give grace to everything. But you don't even want to show up as a woman who just caters to us. Just be the foundation of woman. And I'm gonna tell you this, in case anybody ever takes this the wrong way. The greatest person I ever had in my life is my mother. The reason why I am like I am is because of my mother. When I was growing up, my mother, the women that I grew up with, the grandmothers, the aunties, held women to the fire, because women are the most valuable piece to this entire equation. We have the most important roles. They have the most valuable pieces in this. They have to be way more moral than us. They have to be intuitive where we may not be intuitive at times. They have to be more loving. They have to be more understanding. They have to have all the grace, but they have to be the epitome of love for my son, for my daughter, for us, for our civilizations. But we have to build with them. The temperature of our women, the state of our women is the state of the people. The greater the women, the greater the men. We have to just provide, protect, and take care and lead our women. But they have to be the foundation of what we living for and what we building for is great women.
But the biggest thing that I think Trev said, and I think Ali too, is that women, they don't care to learn a man. And I know, at least for me, I'm just going to get a little personal. For me, I was half of a modern woman before I got with my husband now. And I say half because I had a lot of traditional principles, but the other half I didn't have, which was how to speak to a man and in things in that regard. But because I wanted to be married, I didn't want to be a baby mother and all of that, I decided to work hard to get what I have now. It wasn't the easiest thing in the world because of the things that has been taught in this society, but I didn't let that be that my excuse. I was like, okay, well, if I want this, okay, he seems like a decent man. Let me make sure that I'm trying. And then after I figured that all out, I was able to get married, and here I am now. But if you have to want it though, just like some people want their job, they want to make 6 figures and sell all this damn weave and everything, making a whole bunch of money. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to that man, you don't put all that sweat, blood, and tears into that man. You're like, oh nah, you gotta make what I'm making. Like all of these are just silly excuses. It's an excuse that you just don't want to be committed. That's all it is.
Are you absolutely right with that? Because when a woman wants to get a career, she makes sure she prepares for it, right? She makes sure that she goes to school for years. She put in that work. She knows how to dress the part, right? She doesn't come in late. Sure, she takes care of all of her tasks, right? And if she wants to move up, she put in that work. So if you give all that energy for something that you feel is important, like a career, why can't you put that same energy, that same devotion, that same dedication into a family, which, in my personal opinion, should trump career? And I'm not saying that two things can't exist at the same time, because even if you are a career woman, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you are willing to put in the same effort and that same energy into your family.
Yeah. But in the Mexican woman working with her man, the Indian woman working with her man, the Arab woman working with her man, the white woman working with her man, ain't we supposed to be the cream of the crop? Ain't black men the cream of the crop? When you're thinking about men, why wouldn't you want to work it out with us more than any man? Why you don't invest in us the way these women are investing in a man? It's the craziest thing with me when we the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I hit the nail on the head tonight, bro.
Especially a shiny head.
Winter summer $10 says the problem with buying expensive gifts early on is that most people can't maintain. If you set the bar really high at the start and when the gifts start to fall off, there's going to be a problem. Winter summer again says then the man will complain that the woman is using him for his money, whereas he has the one that led with money and gifts to begin with.
Yeah, that's true.
Caesar Palace $5 says, did you guys hear paternity testing is illegal in France? This is why men are scared to commit. And the men still have to pay child support.
That's a fact.
European nations.
I ain't going nowhere. $5 to Mr. Let Go. You got one more again to fix your mouth to say something crazy about Lady Di. Leave her alone and let her look like a snack. Ali and Sweeney, get your mans. I ain't going nowhere. $5 says women getting coached by Let Go, getting mad finesse. Great show as always, Mr. JR. Corleone, is that how you say that? Are you producing any more of those denim t-shirts? I got a few of them left, man. I'll see what I can do. There's been some talks about it. I ain't going nowhere. Paris look like she'll make a mean peach cobbler. Ali bringing the light-skinned bros back. I ain't going nowhere. Ali blood pressure be 170 over 110. Talking to Let Go. BZ Funny Baby Zaddy $5 says real quick. Let's go down the list of all the things we're comparing D to. So far, we got ice cream and crack. What else? I got a couple more. Got in Scarlet to $200. Lapeef Network, seriously, the only way you're going to keep up is to adopt the around the horn ESPN format. Get at me, you're welcome. I'll consider this a deposit. Yeah, ESPN format. Version of everything else, carbon copy $2. Ali has great points, but he stays angry.
Sure, he ain't got no choice but to.
Version of everything else, carbon copy says we need to hold both men and women God dag unaccountable. They both also have been hurt. Ali has great points, but he is always coming for the women and never the men.
Can I address that real fast? Just real fast. Women are the gatekeepers, man. Women, I can't kiss her without her permission. I can't touch her without her permission. I can't come around her without her permission. I can't take her somewhere without her permission. I can't be intimate without her permission. So what she signs up for, whatever that foundation, that table she set up for me, that's the only thing I can do is treat her accordingly. That's the only thing I can do. If women close their legs up today and ask for world peace and they not having sex until there's world peace, it's world peace tomorrow.
All right, last super chat. I ain't going nowhere. $2. Let Go need a coach after this. I charge $175 an hour. All right, it's been a great show tonight. And I appreciate everybody that hung around. I know it's been a little bit over time. Make sure y'all follow and subscribe to everybody's YouTube channel. that is on the panel currently. Just go to their IGs right there, and all information should be up there, including the people that has fallen down. Trigger Mike is going live tomorrow. Shout out to the sponsor again, Teach Handling Uncomplicated Skincare for Men, 30% off along with a free gift. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and click that Lapeef link and get your Teach pack. And yeah, that's it. It's a wrap, man. It's the end of the show. I know y'all want to carry on, man, but folks gotta get up early tomorrow. So until next time,
this morning.
We out. Yeah, this morning. Yeah, I know. All right, y'all. We out.
Oh, good.
Ali may let go rage quit.
Oh, here we go.
Definitely rage quit.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Later.